Hello and welcome to the channel. As always, like the video, and if you enjoyed the story, leave a comment on if you would want more. This fanfiction was not created by me, but in the description there is a link to the fanfic so you can show your support to the creator and read along. Without any more delay, let's dive into the story.
I look at the outside of the window and see the beautiful scenery of my city as the sun rises. It never gets old. The scenery of hundreds of houses, blocks, spotless and wide roads, crowded stores, and most of all the smiling people. This is the site of what I've achieved along with my companion, my family. Albeit not a blood-related family, I couldn't describe those who are close to me by simply calling them my companions. I love them with all my heart. With that, I can only use the term family to describe who they are to me. Rimuru-sama. You're not daydreaming again, aren't you? Irk. I turned my swivel chair and saw Shuna in front of my desk, standing while looking at me with a gentle yet scary smile. She also served me a couple of sliced cakes and tea. You Rimuru-sama, please finish your work as well. If you have time to daydream, it's better to use it to work. I know, Shuna. Don't worry, I'll be back at work. I smiled while raising my thumb up. Thank you for your dedication, Rimuru-sama. I'll prepare a muffin with a cream made from Apito's honey when you finish. Oh, sure. I'll finish this paperwork in no time. I immediately jumped out both of my hands and grabbed every paper to later examine it with a speed I've always used when I'm hyped. Hey, I'm an honest man, okay? I'm not gonna fall into bribery, but I can spare for something sweet. Besides, it's Shuna's cooking. What kind of creature would resist her cooking? Not a single soul. That's why, for something mundane like this paperwork, it's a small price to pay for being able to eat that muffin made by Shuna. Don't get careless, master. Some important issue is reported in those paperwork. Of course. Don't worry, Seal, I knew what I was reading. I'm not lying though. These papers contain further reports on the installation of the magic transfer circle in every allied country. The progress is pretty fast, but how much they have managed to understand how to use it effectively is still underway. As much as I have developed it, it still could only transfer around 40 people at times. I tried to make a proper procedure along with the protocols on how to use it for evacuation, but every nation has its own priority and it's out of my jurisdiction to intervene on how they handle internal issues. So I would like to check on how they have managed to use it properly, in case when Feldway and Michael started to act, they would be ready. Along with the reports of the installation of the magic transfer circle, I also received many reports about the development of our weaponry. It seems our researcher has managed to produce some modern weapons, albeit most of them are still prototypes. It would need my approval to continue the development, along with the first party who would be able to use it. Of course, Tempest would be the first one who could use it. But the next one is still questionable. One proposal comes from Glenda Atlee, our liaison in the Three Drunk Sages. She writes about her deepest interest in testing those modern weapons, along with the promise of optimal use in her hands. Although I wasn't concerned she would misuse it, this would need multiple considerations. I also tried to help Rimuru as much as I could with our forces to defend Tempest. Thanks to Guy, I have to divide many of my capable warriors into other demon lords. It left me with a few defense forces, albeit it's still considerably strong. I still have Benimaru's Kurenai. Gobta and his riders are still around, and some of the 10 dungeon elite are still here. I have 2 trump card, which is my own personal army, the Black Numbers, and the dungeon. But using a trump card from the beginning would be a terrible move. So I and Benimaru had to rack our brains together to find a better strategy for defending our nation. To make things worse, I'm not only being faced with the upcoming Great Tenma War, but I also still have my work for daily activity in Tempest. Although most of them are already handled by Rigard and other ministries, some major proposals need my approval. And I cannot approve carelessly if I don't want any future problems to arise. Truly, if I were still in a human body right now, I probably would burn out. But there's no time for mundane daydreams right now. I have to work it out, stat. Finally, after many hours, I managed to finish all of this paperwork. And to my surprise, it's already evening. Good job today, Rimuru-sama. Shuna came in with a sweet smile on her face. This time, it's genuinely a gentle smile, not with a scary premonition behind it. Thank you, Shuna. But I'm surprised it's already evening. Yes, it is, you've been working hard. That's why, Rimuru-sama deserves a reward. Oh. I like presents. Oh, wait. Is it the muffin that you mentioned before? I asked, full of hope. That's only part of it, Rimuru-sama. But, I also like to invite you for something else. Invite? Are you preparing a party, Shuna? She nodded happily. Seriously, a party? I didn't hear anything about this. Rimuru-sama. May I have your time? Shuna? What are you doing here? Suddenly, Benimaru's voice could be heard. He stopped in the doorway after seeing his sister inside my office. He looked delighted for some reason. He smiled all the way and didn't stop smiling even after seeing his sister. Brother. We agreed to this, I would be the one who would invite Rimuru-sama. Shuna, on the other hand, was sulking and a bit angry, although her tone didn't rise a bit. Seriously, what's going on? Is that so? But Momiji is worried you might forgotten since it's already evening. Of course not, brother. Rimuru-sama is very busy today, so I couldn't properly invite him at noon. Well, gladly it turns out Momiji's concern wasn't true. Anyway, forgive me, Rimuru-sama. It's actually… Well, my sister will tell you the rest. I'll be going home first. See you soon, Rimuru-sama. Oh, sure. See you tomorrow, Benimaru. But before I could finish my sentence, Benimaru had already gone from my sight and headed straight home. He looks in a very good mood. I wonder why, but I'm glad he's not overstressed by our situation. Anyway, right now only me and Shuna in my office. I would love to have a party right now, but I wonder what kind of party it would be. Especially when Shuna is the one who orchestrated it. Shuna, did you have a party? I would love to come by if you intend to invite me. Of course. That's the purpose why I came to you right now, Rimuru-sama. I would like to invite you for a feast in my brother's house tonight. A feast? Oh, I would love to. But, on what occasion is this feast? It's just for having a good time for family, Rimuru-sama. When our father was still alive, sometimes he made a feast when something important was going to happen and spent the available time with the remaining family for, just in case, it would be the last. This time, it was my brother who held the feast. It's actually a pretty sad reasoning. I mean, to think that Benimaru might think that this Tenma war could probably take his life, I am really appalled. My right-hand man, my samurai general, the ever-optimist Benimaru takes a precaution by having a feast in case this is his last moment with his family, made feel terrible for many reasons. But just as when I started to imagine bad things that could happen, Shuna spoke. Rimuru-sama, please don't worry. I know what you're thinking. But it's not like that. Although brother did hold a feast, it's just for spending time with family after many of our busy schedules. Please, do not think brother will leave you behind in the upcoming war, Rimuru-sama. Shuna smiled while both of her eyes closed, with both of her hands holding each other in front of her. It's really calming my nerves after saw that smile. I hope what she said is the truth. No, I believe what she said is the truth. We would never leave each other, and also, we deserve a break even when a crisis is in front of us. But wait a minute, it's a family feast, right? I get why Shina is joining, but me? Hold on, does Benimaru also want me to come? Shuna, I would love to join, but is it okay? I mean, I'm not your blood-related family. Rimuru-sama, please don't mind those little petty things like that. Family can be anyone, and anyone can be a family. We already saw you as a member of our family, just like you who treat us like a family, Rimuru-sama. I feel some warmth after hearing those words from Shuna. I have no reason to refuse, and heck, I really wanted to join so badly. Thank you very much, Shuna. I will definitely come. Is it held in Benimaru's house? Yes it is, Rimuru-sama. It will be special since Momiji and Albiz are in charge of cooking. I'm really looking forward to how much progress they have made, fufufu. She giggled lightly, covering her mouth while keeping both of her eyes closed. I giggled back. I would gladly look forward to this. Should we go now, Shuna? Yes, it seems everyone is already waiting. Although I'm certain nobody wouldn't dare to have a first bite before Rimuru-sama arrived. Oh my. I would feel bad if Benimaru and his wives were feeling hungry right now. Let's go, Shina. Let's go together. My pleasure, Rimuru-sama. We both walked together out of the city hall building and headed toward Benimaru's house. The sky looks orange-colored along with the pale yellow sun as it is almost down from the sky. The sight of sunset never gets old to enjoy. Shuna and I walked side by side, and she hadn't spoken any words since we started walking. But I enjoy this silence. The city is also preparing to have a rest, as the majority of the stores are closing their doors and covering their windows with curtains. The employees are bidding their farewells to fellow coworkers and their boss. Construction workers also preparing to go home. They look like tidying up their working tools and bringing them back to the warehouse. The bars, meanwhile, starting to get lively as many of these workers are taking their time to have some rest while chatting with friends. Not only the bars which getting more livelier, but the restaurants and cafes are also getting more crowded. It's a very lively place and peaceful. Something I took pride in myself because I managed to build a place and environment such as this. We're here, Rimuru-sama. Let's get in and make yourself at home. We will be glad to have you comfortable in this house. Shuna spoke while taking off her sandals and immediately opened the front door for me. Seriously, I probably have gone off and being off guard many times since I didn't realize I already walked pretty far away from City Hall. Thank you, Shuna. I also took off my shoes and walked towards the front floor. I entered the house first and Shuna followed behind. Brother. Rimuru-sama has arrived. Shuna called out to Benimaru. Then out from the living room, Benimaru showed himself with a joyous expression and immediately walked toward me. Rimuru-sama, I'm very happy you could come here. I'm the one who is grateful for being invited. Is everyone waiting for me? Of course, Rimuru-sama. We wouldn't dare to have any bite before you arrived. I glanced at Shuna, and she showed a smile of pride after hearing Benimaru's words. Sorry, the paperwork is taking much longer than I wanted. Ahaha, don't worry, Rimuru-sama. We understand you always doing your best for our sake. Then, let me and my family pay it back a little for you. As we walked toward the dining room, I saw many various foods on the table. There's some Western menu such as pizza, steak, macaroni, and other Eastern foods such as carriage, azoni, etc. I was honestly a bit staggered by how much menu on this table, but Benimaru saw through me and immediately said, Momiji is trying to cook some Eastern recipes while Albiz did the Western ones. Really, albeit they are in pregnant condition, they really do their best to follow the recipes. You should be proud of your wives, Benimaru. Indeed I am, Rimuru-sama. I pat his shoulders and gave him a smile. It's heartwarming to see him live happily with his wives like this. Era, it's Rimuru-sama. Rimuru-sama, welcome to our home. Albiz and Momiji appeared from the kitchen. They look a bit tired, but joyous upon seeing their husband already sitting on the chair and ready to have a bite of their cooking. Thank you for having me, Albiz-san, Momiji. The pleasure is all ours, Rimuru-sama. Yes, please don't reserve yourself, and let's feast on your wholeheartedly. We all sat together on our respective chairs, along with Shuna, who also had a seat beside me. I really enjoyed the feast. It was delicious, although if I want to be honest, it still couldn't be on the same level as Shuna. But hey, these two had never taken an interest in cooking before marrying Benimaru. So we should praise them for their cooking. I'm glad you looking happy, Rimuru-sama. Albiz opened up a conversation. Thank you, Albiz-san. All the food here is delicious. I replied. Indeed, Rimuru-sama is right. You have become better at cooking, Albiz-san, Momiji-san. Shuna also joined along. Era, thank you, sister-in-law. But it's all because of your guidance. Without your help, I'm still going to cook some simple food. That's true, sister-in-law. I had never cooked before since my servant would always serve me one, but thanks to your guidance, I was able to make delicious food. Oh my, it's really not that big. It's all because of your effort to please my brother here. And that's why I'm really happy to decide to have this feast, Benimaru interjects. It's a superb decision, Benimaru-sama. It's a wonderful experience for me. Albiz responded. True, true. It really is a good decision to spend time with family. Momiji also responded with a cheerful tone, although she acted a bit restrained since her pregnancy was limiting her move. It also serves as a good rest. You should be doing this more often, Benimaru. Considering we would find ourselves in difficult situations each day. I also sprung into the conversation while taking a shot of brandy. And I would gladly do it whenever you came by, Rimuru-sama, Benimaru replied. Don't worry about me, Benimaru. Just do it any time you want, but also with Momiji and Albiz-san's consent. I probably won't be always attending, though. Why is that, Rimuru-sama? This time, it was Shuna who asked. Well, I still have many things to do. I just hope we can have a peaceful day soon. Having Michael and Feldway somewhere out there is making my nerves wild at the times. I snickered since it was a bit of an exaggeration. I obviously could not fully calm down because of Michael and Feldway, but it didn't mean I was losing my soul. But for Benimaru and the rest, this statement had successfully made them concerned. Rimuru-sama, are you stressed out? Shuna asked. This is not good, Rimuru-sama. If you have gone tired, please rest assured and leave all matters to us. Benimaru also joins the fray. Momiji and Albiz just kept silent, since they had probably already been voiced by Shuna and Benimaru. But they still looked at me with great concern. Well, truth be told, I didn't mean that I was tired physically. But I just feel like it's getting exhausting just looking and thinking about the preparation for the war. It's nerve-wracking since I don't know when or where they would strike. I let out a deep sigh after letting out my mind. It's an honest statement since I do want to have a break like this as well, but I don't think I can. Don't get me wrong, I didn't mean I disliked having a feast like this, but I felt like I was bothering Benimaru's household if I kept doing this. I know. They already said that they are glad to have me, but it's still something that I am not fully used to. Maybe, I just want some of my own blood-related family. I don't know. Rimuru-sama, I suggest you to have a break. Maybe a short vacation would help you to calm yourself. We don't want you to push yourself too hard. Shuna spoke. I agree with my sister-in-law, Rimuru-sama. Even Karian-sama took a small break whenever he felt too much to take care of. Resting is a part of finishing work. Albiz supports Shuna's suggestion. I would really love to, Shuna, Albiz-san. But who would take care of the rest of Dash? We can handle it, Rimuru-sama. We all can. Benimaru cut my worries with a confident tone. Me and my dear husband would help to take care of everything when you have a small break. Please don't worry about it, Rimuru-sama. But Momiji, you and Albiz-san are in pregnancy. You should not work too. I can oversee many departments at once, Rimuru-sama. I'm confident my ability could be useful. Together with brother and other ministers, we could handle your job for some time. This time, Shuna is the one who cut my worries. Don't worry about us as well, Rimuru-sama. We can still do some jobs at home. We may not be in a good shape to travel around, but we can help you finish your job here. Albiz-san once again rebuked my worries. I'm not gonna lie, it actually feels heavenly to have a companion who offered themselves to take my job and forced me to have a break. As a good adult who is honest with himself, I take that offer without any more added drama. Tee-hee. But to make sure they didn't force themselves, I should ask one more time if this is really on their consent. Are you guys sure about this? I really appreciated it, but I still feel kinda bad to leave everything to you for a while. Of course, Rimuru-sama. They all voice their consent in unison, and then each of them adds more details. Leave the preparation for war to me, Rimuru-sama. I'll keep in contact with our warriors that sent to other demon lords' territory. I'll find more strategies to use. Don't worry, Rimuru-sama, have faith in me. Benimaru vigorously stated. I would also handle the nation's needs every day and gather other ministries to help run our programs, Rimuru-sama. I'm sure Diablo-sama would also help with an excellent result. Shuna adds more from Benimaru's statement. We would also help everyone with anything they need. We don't want to keep our hands empty. I'm confident I could help more than just being a good wife for my dear husband, Rimuru-sama. Albiz-san and Momiji also speak their resolve in a high spirit. I was baffled by this sight but also felt happy. This is what a family truly is. To help each other and make selfless decisions. And it's inappropriate to reject their kindness. Thank you, everyone. Then, from tomorrow on, I would like to have some free time for a while. Things are going from one to another, but in the end, I could catch a break. Phew. It's been a while since I didn't have to go to my office. And that being said, now I am confused about where should I go. It's been a while since I haven't visited the kids. I wonder what they're doing right now at school. Yep, I want to visit my students. Well, they are also technically Shizue-san's students as well. It's still morning, the sun just rose a few moments ago. The kids should be finishing school in the afternoon. I still have plenty of time. Speaking of the kids, it reminds me of Shizue-san. I haven't paid any respect to her grave for a long time. It's on the hill outside of the city. It's been years since the last time I paid a visit. Ranga, are you there? Yes. I'm here, master. Ranga suddenly appeared from my shadow. Good boy. Please take me to the hill where I made a grave for Shizue-san. As you wish. Then I took my humanoid form and jumped to Ranga's back. We ride through the city. Everyone seems to greet me. It can't be helped, I rarely take a stroll around the city recently. A lot of people must be wondering why I suddenly ride Ranga and casually reply to my people's greetings. If I remember correctly, the last time I took a stroll is when I held a founding festival. I finally arrived at Shizue-san's grave. I put myself down from Ranga's back and walked towards the grave. I stared at the grave. It doesn't have any name engraved on it, but anybody knew it was her. Besides, her body wasn't there but kept inside my stomach. I closed my eyes and held my hands together. I imagined Shizue-san's figure, which Seal made inside my mind. She looks waving at me and smiles happily. Is Shizue-san happy? The individual named Shizue didn't have any regret in her last moment. So it can be concluded she died in a happy state. I see, perhaps Seal managed to take the memory or data when she was still a great sage. If Seal said so, then it must be true. Then I'm relieved if Shizue-san died happily. Shizue-san, I'm glad if you're happy. I managed to save the kids. I reconcile with Leon and accomplished to have his answer about your existence. Hinata is also more open up, and she looks happy to take care of the kids. I imagined myself talking to Shizue-san who appeared inside my mind. She keeps smiling while I say those words. But then, I also remember Yuki. But unfortunately, I can't save Yuki. I wouldn't blame myself because of his action, but I wanted you to know that I'm very sad to imagine how it feels for you to see Yuki become like that. Shizue-san's smile disintegrated a bit. I think she's going to be upset. She walks toward me while keeping her gaze on my eyes directly. Slime-san, you said you didn't blame yourself. But it looks like you regret not being able to save him. Even though I love him and treat him like my son, I wouldn't approve of his behavior. So please, don't be too hard on yourself, Slime-san. But if only I realize it sooner, I might have made him in a better state. You have done more than enough, Slime-san. No matter how powerful we are, we cannot control other people's hearts. If Yuki has done something outside of our expectation, then it just means we haven't known him very well. But, how do you feel, Shizue-san? Knowing your student whom you treated as your son doing some bad things? We all have done bad things, Slime-san. We all have a reason for doing so. I believe Yuki has done the same. He's still a good boy. I am very certain his intention is also a good thing. Suddenly I remember the day when I massacred 20,000 of Falmouth Kingdom's army to gain souls for my evolution into a demon lord. That's right, it's a horrible thing to do. No matter what the cause is. But I still do it, to revive my people. You're right, Shizue-san. It seems I have failed to understand fully Yuki's intention. Without knowing what he's aiming for, I couldn't judge him as a bad person. I will do the same to the other kids. Thank you so much, Slime-san. Thank you for taking care of my students. Shizue-san smiled beautifully, and then she reached me and hugged me. It felt warm and calming. I feel her touch, and I can feel her strength in her arms. Wait, hold on. How can I actually feel it while it is only my imagination? I sync it with your sense, Master. So when you imagine yourself being touched by her, I made your skin feel like being touched as well. I can't say a word. It felt good, but if Seal did it without my consent, it's actually a bit creepy. But I admit I do want to feel Shizue-san's embrace for a bit. Just a bit, okay? And wait for a second. Talking about Shizue-san, isn't it I'm talking with her as if she's alive? It feels too real for Shizue-san to talk like that even though it's only my imagination. Is it Seal's doing? Correct. I made a projection of an individual named Shizue based on her personality. Everything she said is the most highly possible outcome from her personality. Wow, just wow. It feels like somehow I'm cheating on the whole world. Many people offer to pray and spend a lot of time talking in front of someone's grave to have a slight moment of their loved one to talking back at them. And here I am, talking casually with Shizue-san with the help of Seal. Even though it's not a real Shizue-san. The real Shizue-san is already gone. I don't know what happened to her soul, but I wish Shizue-san's soul would travel to a nice place. There's a possibility for those souls to gather around under a new person. I see. Wait, what? You mean, there's a possibility that Shizue-san is reincarnated? It might not be certain, but it's possible. No way. It couldn't be. But, wait a minute. I'm also a reincarnation. I died in another world and my soul traveled to this world inside a slime. Now that I think about it, this case also happened to Masayuki, right? Most of Rudra's soul has gathered inside Masayuki. And although Rudra's memory doesn't come along, Velgrind is very certain that most of Rudra's soul is gathered inside Masayuki's body. So, it's possible that somewhere out there, someone has gathered Shizu-san's soul as well? Correct. If you wish to find them, I could search for them. Seal, just how reliable can you be? All is done for my master's wish. It wasn't my wish. All I wished for is Shizu-san's peace. I simply wanted her to rest and leave no regret. I owe her a lot, including this appearance which I use for my humanoid form. I'm a man who always repays a debt. So if Shizu-san gets reincarnated somewhere, I wished for her well-being and to live happily. I do not wish to interfere with her new life. I just someone who happened to meet in her previous life. Let her live happily if she really is getting reincarnated. Understood. Thank you, Seal, you don't need to search for her. As soon as I said that, I realized Shizu-san already disappeared. I didn't feel her embrace anymore. I opened my eyes and saw her grave. The sun has risen pretty high, and I felt that my surrounding was glowing under the sunlight. It suddenly felt lonely. Rimuru-sensei. Kenya, Gale, Alice, and Ryota ran toward me once they saw me at the front gate of the school. The school had just finished, and I deliberately waiting for them since a few minutes ago. Hi everyone. Look what I bought for you guys. I bought cakes from Yoshida-san's shop after I finished visiting Shizu-san's grave. I also bought other food from stalls in the commercial district. I intend to have a little picnic with them today. But to my surprise, when I came to buy food in the commercial district, almost everyone caused a commotion. It seems it's been a while since I haven't strolled around, and a lot of new citizens who never saw me found it very odd and at the same time, try to greet me. I awkwardly greet them back. Why? Because I'm a bit surprised since most of them are humans. I knew that Tempest has accepted a lot of new human immigrants, but I didn't know it already has this many. It takes quite a time, and I'm glad I didn't late to meet the kids. Cake. No way, it's from Yoshida-san's shop, isn't it? Thank you, Rimuru-sensei. Alice, Kenya, and Ryota immediately saw what I brought for them. Yep, let's go have a picnic. Do you have any plans today? I suddenly thought they might have another plan for today. Nope, we were going back to the dorm for today. We don't have any other homework to do, right guys? Gale asks the rest. No, we already have finished them all. Meh, even if there's homework I won't do it if sensei's coming. Ken-chan, that's no good. Sensei is going mad if he knew you didn't finish your homework. Ryota reprimanded Kenya. That's right. I won't feel happy if they neglect their studies just for having time with me. Well, I also would blame myself since I was the one who suddenly asked them for having a picnic. That's right, Ryota. I'll punish you if you didn't do your study properly. But if you guys didn't have any plans, let's have a picnic. Yay! Let's go, Rimuru-sensei. Let's go. Oh, wait a minute, guys, let's change our uniform first. We can't get dirty with these uniforms, Gale suddenly suggests to them. I didn't think about it, but he's right. They have to wash their uniform on their own. It must be pretty tiring. Good job, Gale. Oh my, Gale is right. Sensei, please wait a minute. I'll be wearing my cutest outfit. Me too. I'll get my sword and have a duel with Sensei later. That's no good, Ken-chan. In that case, I'll also bring my bow. Guys. Don't forget to change your clothes. They were running to their dorm immediately. It seems they're lively as always. I'm glad they are happy. I wish Shizu-san can see this. I waited for 5 minutes, and they haven't come back. Seems it would take more time. Well, it doesn't bother me since I also happen to have been greeted by teachers after they heard I was here. We talked about how is the school's well-being, and how the relationship between monsters and human children interact with each other, and even we made it to gossip about teachers. Mostly about romantic relationships though. And suddenly, someone tapped my shoulder from my back. Been a while, Rimuru. What are you doing here? It's a female voice. And I knew whose the voice it is. It's been a while as well. How are you doing? Just as usual. I turned around and saw Hinata standing behind me. She wore her crusader's uniform, with a sword on her waist. The other teachers who talked with me before stopped their talk and also greeted Hinata. It seems she's also well known around the school. She greeted them back but with a more monotone voice. Meanwhile, the teacher seems to feel happy to be able to greet her. They talked a bit, and then she asked them back to work. It might seem a bit rude, but she's right. Their job hasn't finished, yet they're here talking with us. It's your fault, Hinata suddenly said after they have gone. She's right. Because I suddenly came by and casually waited at the front gate, everyone must find it unusual. I have to learn more about my standing. Hinata let out a sigh, and then she asked, so, what are you doing here? Well, I took a break. So today I have a day off. I want to spend my time with the kids. I see. So you wanted to slack off? No way. I just wanted to have a break. I didn't neglect my job. I swear. Is that so? Yeah, really. And by the way, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be in Ingratia? I just finished a meeting with your army general, Benimurudano. We discussed about both country prowess, and how we deal when the war break out. He seems much more diligent than you. I see, so you guys formally met to discuss things. That's good. But you don't have to tease me with that diligent word. I also do my job properly, you know. I also happened to meet with Diablodano as well. He's representing you in our meeting. And honestly, it feels more efficient than having a meeting with you when we reconcile about the 7 luminaries incident. It does feel bad when your subordinate does your job more properly than you. But, I'm also glad to hear them doing their job excellently. Anyway, I don't care about your situation right now. But I do find it strange to meet you here. So what are you guys going to do with those cakes and food you brought? We dash. Sensei. Sorry for the wait, look at my outfit, is it cute? Sensei, Alice is taking too long. I have changed my clothes and taken my sword in just minutes. Ken-chan, you also took time when you looking your sword. Don't lie to Sensei. Alice, Kenya, and Ryota suddenly barge in. Meanwhile, Gale follows behind. Sensei, we're ready, Gale said with a calm voice. Alice indeed looks cute. She wear a red dress and brought a little bag on her shoulders. She wore a white hat, with a little doll on it. Meanwhile, Kenya, Ryota, and Gale look usual. But they brought their weapons. Kenya brought a sword and a small shield, Ryota brought a bow, and Gale brought a spear and a large shield. Oi. Are we going to picnic or do hunting? What are you guys doing? Are you taking them to Labyrinth, Rimuru? But Alice's gear is not suited. Hinata suddenly interjects. And no, actually, we going to have a picnic. Hinatane. Hinatane, you're here. Hinatane, let's join us. The kids suddenly made a fuss over Hinata. I thought Hinata might get annoyed a bit, but turns out, she smiled. Oh, are you guys going to have a picnic? Then I gladly come. Yay! Well wait, didn't you have to return to Ingratia? I can do that tomorrow in the early morning. I've planned to stay a night here anyway. Now look who's talking about slack off. Shut up. Before I can say anything, Hinata already lead the kids and took the food I brought. Arg. Hinata, you're too strong. Huffed. Ha. I can't land a single hit ha. Huffed, even my shield can't fully block her sword. Ryota, Kenya, and Gale had a spar with Hinata in the middle of our picnic. We all happened to walk to the nearby meadow. We didn't walk too far from the nearby road, so it should be safe. You all have grown significantly. I must say, you are already pretty strong. But we can't hit you, not even once. My arrows always miss, even though I imbued them with magic so they can trace your movement. How did you do that, Hinata? Yeah, right. My swords cannot hit you, although I already have my eyes on your movement. Me as well. I can't see where your swords go even if I go in full defense. Oh boy, I think I knew the reason. But I won't say anything. All I can say is, Hinata didn't hold back. Scary. Hinata only smiled and sheathed her sword. He helped those three to back on their feet. Their legs are still and wobbled, but they managed to walk up here and drank a potion I brought. After they drank the potion, they started to make a fuss again over Hinata. They pondered on how she could be that strong, and how she managed to attack them efficiently while avoiding their attacks. Alright, I will tell you, guys. It's my unique skill mathematician. It allows me to predict my enemy's movement and counter it with feints. So you guys only attack where I wanted to be. Huh? The three of them were upset. Yeah, don't blame them. Even I had a hard time when she first time using it against me. I luckily have Raphael at that time, so I can find out which one is the feint and which one is not. But these kids don't have Raphael, and heck, do they have a unique skill in the first place? So that's why. That's cheating, you know. Kenya was still upset. Apparently, he's one of the strongest students at school. No, these kids are probably the strongest students in Tempest. I managed to obtain that info from the talks with the teacher before. So having them being toyed with by Hinata must be hurting their pride, mostly Kenya who likes being strong. But that's reality. Being beaten recklessly by another person except me shows them that they have a long ways to go. It would be naive if they think that the only one who can beat them was me. It's a good lesson. Don't be upset, guys. Hinata is strong. Even Shizu-san isn't as strong as her. What? Is that true, Rimuru-sensei? Shizu-sensei lost to Hinata? It's impossible, right? Shizu-sensei is the strongest. Ho. It seems like these guys haven't been able to read their opponent's strength. It's logical since they didn't have enough experience in battling against people and they also didn't have appraisal skills. But, inside Kenya, there's a greater light spirit, right? Why is he keeping quiet? It's probably to teach Kenya a lesson too. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Seal also deliberately let me feel pain on purpose to gather data at some point. Rude. I would never let any harm to Master. Lie, just admit it. Don't say it like that, Rimuru. Sensei is so strong. Only a few people can withstand her. Even an archdemon would find her a difficult opponent. Whoops, even Hinata didn't want to make herself look stronger than Shizu-san? That's surprising actually. But don't blame me. I didn't say that, but I was told by Yuki. Lie, my calculation also indicates Hinata is stronger than Shizu. Just admit it. Damn, you seal. Now I have to save my face on my own. WL, Shizu-san is surely very strong. But objectively speaking, Shizue-san doesn't even have a unique skill while Hinata has two. Wouldn't you find that Hinata is stronger just from that point? Rimuru, I never let you openly tell me about how much unique skill I have. Damn it. I let it slip without realizing it. Seal-san, please help me. Hey. What is this silence? Eh? Hinata has two unique skills? Hinata, you're clearly cheating this time. Now I'm certain Hinata is overpowered. Somehow I'm glad to know without having to fight her. I'm glad to choose not to bring my battle doll. Hinata glared at me with rage. I'm done for. I'll take any punishment. I feel a cold sweat around my back. I don't know what to say to the kids. Well, just get along and not revealed any more than this is my only option right now. Don't say this to anyone, okay? Every person would never reveal their trump card, right? But at least, for now, you all understand how powerful Hinata is. Yeah, if I knew that before, I wouldn't ask to have a spar, you know? It's no wonder I can't hit her. Don't worry, Rimuru-sensei. Hinata's secret will be safe. On another note, I would never want to become Hinata's enemy. Humph. Even if Rimuru-sensei told me, I would never blab about it. I smiled and hoped that their answer are somewhat enough to reduce Hinata's anger. So I took a glance at her. She's sitting while drinking a cup of tea. It seems her mood is in a better state after taking some cake and a cup of tea. At least for now. She glanced back at me. She seems to hear what the kids said. All right. I take your word for not blabbing it. But I think you misunderstood something, Rimuru. Eh? What is it? I'm not irritated by your blab about my skills. I just didn't like you stirring things up to make sensei look weaker than me. Sorry, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I just meant that objectively dash. I'm stronger than sensei, yes. I understand. But I can't accept it right away. After all, she's the one who made me this strong. Without her, I would only be a stray otherworlder. Forget about becoming a knight, having a life must be more difficult without sensei. So that's why. By the way, I never knew how she came to this world. Rather, I didn't know how's her life before she got here. It appears she's been saved by Shizue-san not just physically, but also mentally. It doesn't weird if I wonder about it, right? But I got a feeling that it would be best to not pursue the answer. It's okay, Hinata. I understand. Shizue-sensei is strong in her own way. In my eyes, nobody is stronger than Shizue-sensei. Gale suddenly speaks up. Perhaps, these kids and Hinata found a similarity in their situation without having to tell about it. The other kids nodded in agreement. My, I could never beat you, Shizue-san. They always love you from their hearts. I could never replace her in their life. It doesn't mean I wanted to. But I feel sad thinking about how much loss they felt after Shizue-san passed away. For them, maybe Shizue-san wasn't a teacher at all. She's their mother. And nobody can replace a mother, no matter how good that person is. It's ironic, isn't it? Shizue-san was taken away from her mother because she was summoned here, but in the end, she becomes a mother to these kids. I did what I can to help them, but was it enough? Rimuru-sensei, don't be sad. You're also a great teacher after all. Yeah. Shizue-sensei is the strongest, but Rimuru-sensei is also the best. Rimuru-sensei, you have done a lot for us too. We would never forget Rimuru-sensei's kindness. Shizue-sensei is Shizue-sensei, Rimuru-sensei is Rimuru-sensei. I never compared you both and see who's the best. You all are the best for me. Ryota, Kenya, Gale, and Alice suddenly speak. Their words are touching. Is my face showing sad face? Your sad face doesn't suit you, Rimuru. Besides, you inherit Sensei's appearance. We never saw Sensei being sad, so don't ruin our memories of Sensei. Sorry. Ahaha. Sorry, everyone. I just suddenly think about Shizu-san more than usual. Eh? What are you thinking about Shizu-sensei? I wonder. It's been always about Shizu-san lately. And the idea of Shizu-san being reincarnated somewhere else is rather intriguing actually. Nothing, it's a secret. That's not fair, Rimuru-sensei. Right. You always kept secrets between us. Hehe, not always everything can be told, especially to kids, right? I kept it a secret for now. Speaking of which, how you met Sensei in the first place? Oh, Hinata is curious about my relationship with Shizu-san. Alright, that's not a bad thing. Besides, I haven't told them properly about Shizu-san's death, right? It's a good opportunity to tell them the whole story. Are you curious? How about some storytelling for now? Yes. I want to hear it. Rimuru-sensei, please tell me. Yeah, I always wondered how you managed to have a Shizu-sensei appearance. So please tell me about it too. It seems the kids are also interested. It can't be helped then. I'll have to tell them from the start. From the moment where I go into Dworkin and told Shizu-san is my destined one. After I tell them how I met with Shizu-san, everyone seems to have a different response. Hinata was surprised about how well my ability to absorb things and made them become my power. She keeps asking about what I managed to obtain from Shizu-san, and what happened to her inside my stomach. She also felt a bit sad when I tell the story about how Ifrit went on a rampage and destroyed the village I just made. And after I tell them about Shizu-san's last moment, she had a gloomy face. Especially when she heard that Shizu-san hated this world. The kids also have different reactions from each other. Kenya mostly kept asking about how Shizu-san defeated all of the giant ants. Ryota had more interest in how Shizu-san kept control of Ifrit during her life. Alice kept pondering about whose cabal, Ellen, and Jaido whom Shizu-san's last companion, and Gale always confirming about what is the reason Shizu-san left them and how she entrusted me to take care of them. And since I also knew Shizu-san's history and relationship with Leon, I also added to the story. I thought they going to react wildly after I told them the whole story, from the beginning of summoning until the moment Shizu-san was saved by the hero, but it turns out they kept quiet. Instead, they asking on how is Shizu-san right now inside my stomach. I honestly didn't know for certain, since my stomach had evolved into a completely different dimension. After all, everything I eat is dissolved. So it's impossible for Shizu-san's body is still intact. So, Shizu-sensei had a lot more tough time than us. And here I am, keep whining about her abandoning us. Kenya began to sob. It's okay, Kenya, you just didn't know the truth. You can't be blamed. But now, please don't think she has abandoned you. She wanted to save you all. That's why she decides to go on a journey to meet Leon. So that's her relation with Demon Lord Leon. I never knew that far. I see, I put anger on the wrong person. I apologize to you once again, Rimuru. Hinata reminiscing the time we were still in misunderstanding. You don't have to be angry with anyone, Hinata. After some talk with Leon, I came to understand his intention. And believe me, he's a really good guy. He is just awfully awkward and somehow always manages to stir things up against him. I understand how you feel, but please forgive him too. I can't do that easily. Once things are settled down, I think I'm gonna have some talk with him. Whoa, scary. And stubborn as always. I thought she already learned the lesson after making me her enemy. I don't think that's a good idea. But hey, come here a bit. I asked Hinata to come closer. Rumina's happened to be involved in this matter as well. So go and talk with her. I think that's a better idea. I whispered those words to her. After listening to my words, she backed off and slightly nodded. Didn't pursue the matter any longer. Rimuru-sensei, is it true Ifrit almost made Shizue-sensei kill me when the last time we met? Gale suddenly asked after a brief silence. That's right. And that's the last straw for Shizue-san. At that moment, she decided to stop becoming your teacher. How is Ifrit now, Rimuru-sensei? Is he still inside you? Ryota made a question. No, he's been released. He's now absorbing a Charybdis core, and using it as the medium for having a form in this world. And now, she's serving Veldora as his servant. She? I thought you were using he when referring to Ifrit, Rimuru-sensei. Ah yes, he become a female now. You guys can meet her sometime later. But don't be surprised, she's not what you think. Is she still become a bloodthirsty monster? Alice now suddenly interjects. Whoa, Alice. It seems she's angry with Ifrit. Well, it can't be helped actually. Ifrit actually has a fault here. But I can't speak to defending her right now. No, she's not. She's already become an obedient person now. A very kind-hearted one, actually. You guys won't believe me until you saw her by yourself. Right, please let us meet her sometime later, Rimuru-sensei Gale asked me. Sure, I'll tell you when I can. Thank you, Rimuru-sensei. Silent has come again. I tried to eat some cakes and other food. The kids were also eating the food I brought. But they seemed to not enjoy it. Knowing Shizue-san's truth might have shocked them to the bone. I guess some of them probably regret not being able to help Shizue-san. But what children like them can do? Even if I didn't have unique skill, Predator, I wouldn't be able to separate Shizue-san and Ifrit. And perhaps, they already realize even if they knew the truth sooner, they can't do anything. Because they're the ones who need to be saved. They're the ones who need protection. You don't need to think hard about it, even if it was me, I would loathe my inability. But I believe they can handle it. They have been saved, their lives are not threatened anymore. Moreover, I believe they have matured more than before. I put my trust in them for being able to get through this feeling. That's why I deliberately tell them the truth. I made some new tea. This one is made following Shuna's recipe. So even from the sweet smell itself, it's already made everyone calm down. I served them all a cup of tea, while adding a plate of another cake I brought. They eat it up immediately, including Hinata. It seems her composure has been calm since long before, but she didn't refuse the tea I made. What an opportunist. Rimuru-sensei, we can't do anything even if we knew this before, right? Gale asked suddenly. I'm afraid so. But even if that's the case, you guys are not at fault. Because we were weak, right? Strength doesn't have anything to do with this, Gale. Even if you strong, you dash. But you managed to absorb Ifrit and separate it from Shizue-sensei, right? Isn't it your power to be able to absorb anything? Damn, this kid is sharp. But even though I can separate Ifrit from Shizue-san, it doesn't save her. It's almost a natural death. Death by age. Only it was worsened by Ifrit's power. If I don't reply properly, Gale and the rest might continue to blame themselves. But just when I think of a better answer, Hinata speaks up. I regret leaving Sensei. I'm not regretting the decision to join the Crusaders, but I regret not realizing that time was perhaps I can still wait and stay by Sensei's side for a little longer. I leave her without knowing that was the last time I can see her alive. But those regrets didn't take me anywhere. Instead, it blinded me to greater things, and only bring me chaos. I almost kill someone who knew Sensei's last wishes, and wholeheartedly accept her wish as his own. You guys are the same. If Sensei didn't leave you all, Rimuru won't be here to save you all. So all you can do now is to live up as Sensei wanted. Be strong so you can save not only yourself but also other people. It's no use crying out loud about our weaknesses. Sensei has approved it. And we all are her proof. I'm honestly surprised at how open Hinata is, but I like it. So I nodded and added. That's right. We cannot always do what we need to. But that's a life lesson for you. Pain is the most effective way of understanding. And by understanding, we learn something. And by learning something, we become a better person. The four of them have a deep thought, thinking about Mai and Hinata's word. The silence has come up again for a while. Until Kenya suddenly speak up. You're all right. Shizu-sensei has given her life for us, and Rimuru-sensei has done everything he can to save us too. If we want to repay them, then let's be strong. Strong enough to save the one we love. Oh. Kenya really has grown. The kid who always brags and acts childish was actually understanding. Kenshan is right. We have to be strong. Rimuru-sensei, Hinata-ne, please help us become strong. Me too. I won't let Shizu-sensei's sacrifice be wasted. Let's aim to become strong. That's right. I won't let anyone has a painful life like Shizu-sensei. See? I knew these four can get through it. Even after Chloe leaves them, they are still close as ever. That's a good spirit, everyone. I'm sure Shizu-san's life would be happier than she was here if she knew you guys being strong. It's my honest opinion. Shizu-san might have another life somewhere out there, but I believe wherever she is, with her personality, there's no way Shizu-san is unhappy. Ah, wait. I think I just said something unnecessary now. Why? Because I felt a glance of others stare intently. Seal? What did I do? Master has just casually talked about Shizu having a new life somewhere. Oh crap. I can't get away with this. Be prepared, me. Rimuru, what do you mean by that? Hinata's stare is intimidating already. I came here by reincarnated. I died in the original world, and my soul got transferred to this world. I just saying, perhaps, Shizu-san also has similar circumstances. Really? These guys. I really can't get away unless being honest here. I just say there's a possibility, you know? It doesn't mean it really is what happens. I see, I understand. But can you check it out, Rimuru? What should I say? I can search for Shizu's soul, but the result might be not as expected. What do you mean, Seal? It means, whether the soul has been gathered in one person, or scattered around and only some pieces of her soul inhabit another person. I can't guarantee which one would be the result. I see. Let's use that answer then. Well, technically I can. But the result is not certain. Really? How do you do that, Rimuru-sensei? How? Seal, how you're going to looking those souls. Using the data I have about the ultimate skill, Divine Flame King, Thuga, which Velgrind has, it has the ability to track down the soul of the intended individual. Velgrind uses this ability to find Rudra's soul. I can copy its ability for Master, so Master can search the soul of the individual named Shizu. Amazing. Is it able to find those souls even if the souls were in different worlds? Yes, it can. And by space-time domination ability from Master's ultimate skill, Void God Azathoth, we can go to anywhere those souls are leading us. Wow, I never realized how cool my ability was. Then, it means I should be able to return to my original world, right? Correct. I'm speechless. I had mixed feeling right now. Searching for Shizu-san's soul might be tiresome, but if it means I can go on an adventure to a different world, I might find it interesting. But, I have no reason to do it. Just because it might be fun, I don't want to cause a possible commotion. Sensei? Rimuru-sensei? What's up, Gale-kun? You suddenly lost in thought. I thought you were pretending to not listen to my question. What? No way. I heard your question loud and clear. So, what's the answer, Rimuru-sensei? Well, I have to ask you to keep it secret though. Would you keep it a secret for me? Don't be stingy, Rimuru, before you just deliberately disclose how many unique skills I have. Hinata made a horrible answer, but solidly logical. Hinata is right. But I promised to not blab about it. Rimuru-sensei. Gale made a confirmation. Me too. Me as well. I told you I won't blab even if you told me to didn't do it. Alright, I believe you guys. I let out a little sigh. Take a deep breath, and reveal it. I can track down Shizue-san's soul with my skill. And I have the ability to manipulate time and space, so I can go whenever and wherever I want. So I can go to wherever Shizue-san's soul is heading. I did explain it with a straightforward attitude. I won't say that I have two ultimate skills that allow me to do these things. But these guys' faces showed a distrustful expression. I know, right? It's too much to be understood by common sense. I always get reprimanded by Gazel anyway. Rimuru-sensei, are you always been this powerful? No, it's not, Ryota. I just happened to grow up and gain these skills. Grow up? Yeah, more like, evolved. Evolved, but you're still a slime, Rimuru-sensei. Of course I'm slime. I'm evolved, but it doesn't mean I change my species. So you're still a slime, right? A tiny and not a bad slime? I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm still the same as it is. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. I painfully accepted. Rimuru, I know you never lied. But please explain it properly so I can understand it better. Hinata seems to find it hard to believe, but I'm glad she's trying to accept it. But unfortunately, I already explain it as simply as it is. I can't explain it any more than this. But even if I can, the result is still the same. The summary is that I can manipulate space and time. And I can track down a soul. At least tell me how powerful you are right now. Just make a comparison with someone I know. Is it about many times as me? Well, if you want a comparison, it's almost the same with the primordial demon. They have existence point around 3 to 10 million. So I was around that. Well, I actually have an existence point much more than that, because Seal said my accurate existence point is when Velgrind and Veldora's existence point combined. But 10 million is the number that shows up in my status. So, let's get along with that one. But those numbers are still very big for them. Well, it can't be helped. As I said, let's get along with it. You're as strong as Demon Progenitor? Technically, yeah. But in combat, it all depends on how well I can use my skills. And for that, I still have a long way to go. I won't say that I am actually already a part of the true dragon species. It might make a bigger ruckus. So let's be quiet about that. Alright, I suppose I have to believe you. Really? Thanks, that saved me. Really, because no one else is foolish enough to lie by using the words as you said. I don't you're praising or insulting, but I take it as an agreement. And when I saw the kids' faces, their expression is still indescribable. Right, I never told them about my powers as well. So it's understandable, all right. Don't show me those faces, guys. My fellow demon lords are the same. They are very powerful as well. Especially the ones whose names are Guy and Malim. Are they stronger than you, Rimuru-sensei? Well, some of them are stronger, and the rest of them might be on par with me. Demon lords are scary. Yeah, we have to avoid them at all costs. I knew I have to be strong, but even if I succeed, I won't pick a fight with them. Hey. I'm a demon lord too, you know. Well, but it's true for not picking a fight with them. Even if it's for me, that's a way too reckless thing to do. Alright, now you know how powerful I am, and with my abilities, I can search for Shizu-san's soul anywhere. That's enough for today. Wait. Rimuru-sensei, we haven't talked about searching Shizu-sensei's soul. Aren't we going to find her? What? I never said I would do that. Eh? Why? Because I don't want to disturb her new life. That answer made the situation silent for a few seconds. But Hinata is the one who breaks the silence. And what if her new life was in a bad state? Well, I didn't think of that. And if that what really happened? This question is setting me up. Alright, I give up. Huh. Alright, I'll check it up first and decide what to do depending on her state. Yay. I want to come with you, Rimuru-sensei. Yeah. I want to meet with the reincarnated Shizu-sensei. Let's go, Rimuru-sensei. Hold on. We didn't know if she was being reincarnated or reborn somewhere else in the first place. Besides, I can't take any of you with me. I think my space-time domination would cause harm to them. Since they're a human, the density of magicule caused by my skill would be poisonous even for Hinata, who is immune to magicules. Correct. Even the manipulation of space could be harmful to those who didn't have a spiritual body. That's my seal. You just added more reasons to not bring these guys. But I want to go with you, Rimuru-sensei. Alice already made a teary eye. I bet she really wanted to meet Shizu-san and repay her kindness with all she had. But it's impossible. I know, but you can't, Alice. You guys didn't have a spiritual body. So you would be in danger when I perform the space manipulation. I'm gonna use teleportation, and not only space but also time would be distorted. Any ordinary human would die miserably under those circumstances. My words have made the four of them more saddened. But again, it's the truth. Unless they have evolved into a saint, then the probability might be possible. Correct. It will cause some negative effects, but it won't be harmful. A human who already ascended into the saint would have a better resistance against abnormality. Right, so that means someone like Hinata might be able to come with me. Hinata is with me after all. You guys need to be as strong as Hinata to be able to come with me. Why is that, Rimuru-sensei? I glanced at Hinata. This time, I'm asking her permission to tell them about one of the powers she had. I wouldn't repeat the mistake I made before, although it turns out didn't make her upset. Hinata knew what I intended, so she gave a nod. Yosh, a green light. Because Hinata has evolved to become a saint. Once you evolve to become one, you have much better resistance than any other ordinary human. So, once I become as strong as Hinata, I can come with you, Rimuru-sensei? Yes, you're right. But don't take it lightly, you have to undergo rigorous training to ascend to become a saint. Alright, it's settled then. I'm aiming to become a saint. Me too. I'll take any kind of training to become a saint. Hinata glanced at me and sighed in response after seeing those kids intending to become saint. She probably reminding of her own training, and by the looks of it, it wasn't a pleasant time. Geez, at first I honestly thought Rimuru-sensei has developed a tool to detect a soul. But it turns out, it's much more of a twist than I had expected. Gale made an exasperated look. A tool to detect a soul? It honestly sounds cool. It might have a little benefit from it, but it opens a lot more paths in research about souls. Oh man, I'll have to discuss it immediately with Ramiris and Vesta. Sorry about that, Gale-kun. But the truth is not always as expected. Yeah, you're right, Rimuru-sensei. I'll let it go since I can do nothing about it. Just give up, Gale. Rimuru-sensei is always out of common sense. Yeah, I should have to get used to it. But it seems I still have a long way to go. Rimuru-sensei is always being an absurd one. Ouch, it actually hurts hearing those comments. I'll try to take it as a compliment. So, let's get back to the main topic. In conclusion, you can track down Sensei's soul and move yourself to where the souls are, right? And you can't bring anyone except for those who are as strong as me? Hinata interject. Yes, that's true. Then, I'm coming with you. What? Not only me, but the kids were also surprised. What do you mean by that, Hinata? I mean it as I said. Wait, didn't you have a lot of things to take care of? You have space-time manipulation ability, right? So you can manipulate time as well. You should be able to turn back time too. We can go back to this exact time for sure. Wait, is that true, Seal? I thought it only made me able to survive in a time-stop situation. I never thought about coming back to the past. She's correct. However, it's not recommended. Going back to the past would cause an unforeseen paradox. It will cause great disturbance in the future and present time. Without a careful calculation, going back to the past would only cause harm to the world. Scary. Really scary. So, for a good reason, going back to the past is no good? Correct, but Hinata's suggestion about going back to this exact time might be the safest decision if Master wanted to return after searching for Shizue's soul. Why? I wonder. Is it because at this exact time, we all already made a decision to search for Shizu-san's soul? And if we go back to a time before this day, our search for Shizu-san's soul would become a paradox. We did searching for Shizu-san's soul, but we never made a decision to do that. That's the paradox that would occur if we return to the time before right now, right? Correct. Yash, then let's set this time as our return point. It's like a save point in the game. Understood. Thank you, Seal. Hinata is right. After some thought, let's do this. Are you ready to do it right away? Certainly. The kids showed some jealous expressions. Honestly, they look cute. But I understand it must feel painful. Alright, let's set off, Hinata. Guys, we'll be back in seconds. Don't worry. Rimuru-sensei, best regards to Shizu-sensei. Please tell her we love her so much. Rimuru-sensei, Hinata-ne, I wish for your success. Next time, I'll come along as well. Geez, these guys. It's not certain that Shizu-san is getting reincarnated though. But well, let's hope for the best. Seal, are you already have an idea where we're going? Yes, Master. It appears a large piece of Shizu's soul has been found in the world named Ares. A large piece? How big it is exactly? Around 50% of her whole soul. That's a big one. I didn't know it will be this much on the first try. Alright, let's set off. Hinata, hold on to me. We're going now. Already? Okay. Then a magic circle appeared under our feet. A bright light was blinding our sight. And without realizing, we already arrived at destination. In the world named Ares. After a brief of the blinded lights, we finally arrived at somewhat a forest. Huge trees were surrounding us. It seems like a pretty normal forest. Almost like our world. Except I didn't feel any magical beast around us. And more to that, I didn't feel any magicules at all. This isn't good. Ranga, are you there? Yes, I'm here, Master. Can you come out? Yes, but not for a very long time, master. My apologize. As I expected. Stay inside my shadow Ronga. Conserve your energy. Yes. As you wish, master. Hinata also put herself on high alert for seconds, until she was sure nothing dangerous was nearby. It seems we're in a safe place. Rimuru, where's Sensei's soul located? Wait for a second. Seal? Understood. I'm currently searching for it. Please wait for 2 minutes. Okay, it doesn't sound long. Please wait for minutes, I'm still searching for it. Got it. Take your time. After a brief of 2 minutes, Seal made a report. Master, I have found it. It's located around 100 kilometers north of our current location. Whoa, that's pretty far away. And since I haven't been there, I cannot teleport myself there. We have to go there on foot. We can teleport there right away. The soul we tracking is giving me an accurate coordinate to teleport. So without having to go there, I can teleport all of us there. Oh. That's very good news. The sky has gotten pretty dark. Should we go there now, or perhaps go to a nearby town and find an inn? Well, if it was me alone, I would definitely take my time since I took a day off right now. But how about Hinata? By the way, Hinata was acting like nothing unusual, but actually, she's having a hard time after that interworld teleportation. After I check her physical condition, it seems she has spent quite some energy to keep herself intact during the teleportation from our world. But she keeps her composure, and without my appraisal, I would think she was okay. Stubborn as always. Hinata, I've found her. But it's pretty far, what do you think? Should we go there now? Hinata made a distrustful look. I don't understand why though. How far is it actually? Around 100 kilometers north out here. I see, that's pretty far. And right now is pretty dark. We have to postpone it for tomorrow. Are you planning to spend a night first? Yeah, is there any nearby town? Seal, is there any town nearby? Around 12 kilometers from here, there's a town. And about 5 kilometers, there's a village. Oh, okay. Sounds like we have to make a decision. There's actually a town and a village. The village is the closest. What do you think? Is it up to me? Well, I just didn't want to make a decision that made you uncomfortable. So I let you decide. Very well, then I decided to follow your decision. This girl. All right then. Then let's make a camp in here tonight. I guess we are both pretty exhausted right now, so let's make a campsite. All right, I'll search for firewood then. And I guess you brought a tent? Don't worry, I brought something more useful. And without warning, I absorbed some trees to make a small empty land. Then, I let out a 2-story house which I always brought every day. I always dreamed this kind of thing would happen, and that's why I brought this one up. Hinata made some disgustful look at me. Why? I thought this would be more comfortable than a tent. You did it again. What would happen if someone to happen pass by and found this giant house suddenly appeared here? Crap, I didn't think about it. I was naive to think Hinata would praise me for it. Sorry, but just for this day. I didn't have a tent. Let's buy it tomorrow. Buy? Do we have money for it? It should be a secret, but I tell you. I have the ability to make any kind of material. I doubt it can make some advanced object like a stellar coin, but for something as simple as clothes, I can make them easily by magic. That is actually a lie. I can make something as good as a mythical grade weapon with all of creation ability. But it sure made a ruckus. So again, let's be quiet about it. That's pretty convenient. So you planning on making something and selling them? That's pretty much my plan. Any other idea? No, let's get along with it. So what are you going to make? I'm not sure. We don't know how this world is working. Without knowing what its people need, I can't make what would be able to sell. So let's gather some information first for tomorrow. I agree. So let's take a rest. I honestly felt pretty bad around my body. Yeah, have a good rest. Take any room you want. I'll make dinner for you. That's very kind of you. Then, I'll take that offer. I nodded and take a walk around our temporary house. I search around to find out about our surroundings. But it is actually useless. Because while I strolled around, Seal somehow manages to obtain a lot of data about this world. I wonder where her database came from. This world is named Aries. 60% water, 30% land, and 10% ice. It has a population of around 1 billion people. Those people are scattered around the world. This world consists of 4 continents and hundreds of kingdoms. Civilization was behind our world, and magic didn't exist. Technology was as same as in the medieval era on Earth. The inhabitants of this world consist of humans, animals, and plants. Based on the level of civilization in this world, it would be best to create basic human needs such as food and clothing. The concept of money exists but didn't very popular with lower class people. What a grim world we have here. I doubt a tent will be available at the market. But anyway, is there any market nearby? Yes, around 20 kilometers from our position, there's a town named Cardinales. It has a huge market. Master might find it interesting. Ho ho. Seal is unusually perspective about my interest. I wonder what's the reason for her to say that. So for tomorrow, it is probably better to make some clothes to sell, right? Food would actually be more in demand, especially the cheap ones. But clothing would be fine as well. Alright, just in case, I'll make those two in a small amount. But cheap food, isn't it? What kind of food these people usually had? Mostly bread. Okay, let's make cheap bread. It is cheap, but can last for a long time. Are these plants somehow edible anyways? Some of them are edible for humans. But there's a particular plant that seems to be able to boost the longevity of foods. Oh. That plant would be useful. That's great. Rather than making delicious food, let's make durable food. After making it, let's change them with some basic supplies so we can blend in with the people in this world. Because being this convenient might arouse suspicion, and worst, a ruckus. Neither I and Hinata wanted it. We only wanted to see the person who has Shizue-san's soul and check if that person requires help or not. And even though I like to help people, I have to admit this time, I couldn't do as much as I want. This is not my world. And I'm just a stranger. I only came here temporarily. I believe Hinata would think the same, even though she loves Shizue-san very much. But that's all for today. For now, let's make dinner. With my ability, I made the cooking ware and ingredients that I need. I made a simple miso soup. It's a nostalgic meal because I heard from Cabal, Shizue-san liked to cook this soup during their last journey. I'm pretty sure she also liked to cook this meal when Hinata and Yuki were still living together with her. After I finished, I brought the soup to the dining table. I called out to Hinata. And she's coming down from the second floor with sleepy eyes. Is she sleeping before? Well, it's time for dinner already though. So let's eat. But after she's taking a seat, she suddenly speaks. Rimuru, have you forgotten? Forgot about what? I don't need to eat. Eh? Ah. I completely forgot. You're a saint after all. Sorry, do you want to skip the dinner and continue your rest? No, don't sweat it. I'll take the dinner. I just said before that I would take your offer for making dinner. Besides, you've made this nostalgic meal after all. Really? So Shizu-san likes to cook miso soup. Yes, she was. And it's the most delicious miso soup I have ever eaten. I can imagine that. Mine had a bit salty this time. That's okay, I never thought you could cook these dishes though. I once lived alone. So I have to be able to cook some simple dishes, you know. Oh. How exactly your life on Earth is? Nothing special. I'm just working in a construction company. I'm single. Lived for 37 years before getting stabbed and died. Stabbed? Yeah, some criminal suddenly appeared with a knife in his hand. He clearly tried to stab my junior's girlfriend. So I stand between them and got stabbed. That's honestly pretty rough. Yeah, but not as rough as Shizu-san. Suddenly silence filled the air. Oops, I guess I ruined the mood. Arg. Just as when I managed to casually have a talk with Hinata. Why do I have to always be blunt when I talk? It's really a bad habit. Rimuru, you know, I can't say I really love Sensei. I'm actually scared of her. Huh? Scared? Yeah, because she's resembling my mother before she went insane. Oh. This is it. Time for digging into her past. What happened? I killed my father without my mother knowing anything about it. I thought it would make our life better. But it turns out, it only becomes worse. My father was abusive to my mother. I can't stand it. So I kill him. I thought my mother would feel relieved after my father is gone. But reality said a different way. My mother becomes insane, blaming herself for my father's disappearance. I tried to comfort her, but she won't listen. She tried to find a sense of peace in religion. But it only made our distance grow larger. So she's not also saved your life, but also saved your heart, isn't it? Yeah. She made me realize, I can still love someone wholeheartedly. So why are you scared of her? Because having a possibility of me losing her, scared the hell out of me. It would be better to untie every relation I have with her. I'm sorry. If only you were present when her last day come. No, it's not your fault. The day when I received the news that Sensei died, I was very angry. It was uncontrollable. So I went on my way to kill you. But as the days went on, I realized I was actually angry with myself. You blame yourself for leaving Shizu-san? Yes, it's only worsened my state. If only I didn't leave her that soon and accompanied her on her last journey, perhaps I can still see her on her last day. But it is as you said to the kids before, we have to learn something from it and keep moving on. Right, but I want to redeem myself for it. Anyone who has Sensei's soul, I'll treat them as same as Sensei. I honestly wanted to keep pondering about it, but it's starting to look like Hinata is uncomfortable speaking any more than this. So I decided to stop this conversation and switch to discussing our plan. All right, Hinata, let's help each other. I too have a desire to make Shizu-san happy, no matter how it is, or who she is now. So for now, let's discuss our plan. Right, let's get it on with that. 100 kilometers is pretty far to travel by foot. We need horses. Don't worry about that, I can teleport both of us to get there. Really? That's very convenient. But wouldn't it be strange if we went there without knowing anything about this world? As you know, some basic needs in this world. For example, our clothes might be a strange one around here. I guess you're right. So what do you suggest? Let's go to a nearby town. I want to get a better idea about this world a bit. And by the way, should we change our name as well? Yes, definitely. Although the person we're going to see has only 50% of Sensei's soul, it might have a chance to have some part of the memory, right? All right. I can't be sure about memories, but it would be best to have a precaution. I'll go with Johann for my name. What about you? Izawa, I'll use that. How about we introduce ourselves as siblings? Okay, I'll go with that. Then I'll be in your care, Izawa-chan. So you let me be the older one? I see, be prepared then. I think I just made some mistakes here. But anyway, it would only last for this time. By the way, Hinata, it's proven that Shizu-san isn't reincarnated. Although this one had a large piece of Shizu-san's soul, it's not a complete reincarnation. I guess, at best, we only see half of Shizu-san's personality in this person. Do you still want to see this person? I tell you already right, I want to redeem myself. And I want to meet Sensei, just once is okay. But you have already met her in my imaginary space, right? That wasn't enough. It's only an illusion. All right. I won't say anything more about your resolve. Then let's prepare ourselves. I'll make some casual clothes tonight. And I wanted to make some food to be sold. Hopefully, it would help our journey. Need a hand for anything? No, just get some rest. We'll depart tomorrow. It seems the little brother tried to act cool, huh? No. It's because I have the ability to make things. I'm just kidding. Tell me if you need me. Then she's heading upstairs. Geez, even though she said it was a joke, her expression is serious. By the way, when she told me about her past in our original world, her expression was also stiff. I don't know whether it's because she didn't mind about it, or if she was born with such a face which is very difficult to express anything. Anyway, let's make some food and clothes for me and Hinata. Seal, please lend me a hand. My pleasure, master. Then first, let's make the clothes. Seal said the civilization in this world was the same as the medieval era in my original world. So, let's make clothes based on that. But in that sense, I'm not very fond of clothing and not a very stylish person. I always let Shuna and Cheyenne choose my apparel for every occasion, except for an ordinary day. I hope Hinata won't mind at all. So I just made a simple tunic for both of us. A tunic, leather pants, and leather shoes. Of course, I made them with a pretty high standard of quality. Not for the looks, but for durability. We'll be going through many unexpected things anyway, so let's be prepared. Master already has perfect physical durability, so using this equipment won't be helpful. I know. But how the hell I would explain it to the people when their swords get deflected by my body? Or how our body didn't have any single scratch when we do labor? Or even how the hell we can still get clean? This kind of thing won't be easy to explain, Somehow, my common sense got better than Seal's. But we're in a different world right now. It would be safe to assume we might be seen as enemies if we do something impossible by their standards. Why? I just got suddenly remember a witch who got burned alive in medieval times. It's just a legend, but it is still scary to think about it. Even though I wouldn't get harmed by fire, let's try not to provoke any problems. After finishing the clothes, I tried to make sellable food. Seal said the highest demand in this world is cheap food. I wonder if the people in this world were dominated by lower-class people. The civilization of this world is falling behind, so the living standard for each people is very low compared to the modern civilization in Master's original world. Even the high-class society didn't have a better standard than the middle-class society on the current modern Earth. So in conclusion, by the standard of current modern Earth, around 90% of people were living in poverty. What? That's an insane percentage. I see. So it is probably the lower-class settlement that might be on par with the Goblin Village in the early of my reincarnation? Correct. That's pretty sad, actually. I might want to help improve things here, but now is not the time. I still have many things to do even in my current world right now. After settling this Tenma Great War, I'll busy myself with improving any other fallen behind civilization. I just can't sit idly while knowing I have the strength to do more than I have now. Just like Shizue-san, right? We become strong so we can help people. Well, for now, let's make some easy and cheap food. Let's make some bread. Understood. A piece of bread suddenly appears in my hand. It's a usual bread, nothing special. But as far as I remember, Seal had mentioned some plants that help to slow the rot, right? Correct. There's a plant nearby called Madat Hafiza. It can be used as a preservative ingredient. It might affect the taste, but it will last longer than ordinary bread. How long actually it will last after I combined it with the Madat Hafiza plant? Around 3 weeks at the lowest possible. Whoa, that's actually pretty long. In my previous life, a piece of bread could get expired just 3 days after I bought it. If I were to get lucky, the bread would last for a week. So with this plant, we can preserve the bread longer than usual. Alright, let's get it on. Seal, can you make the bread after it's been mixed with Madat Hafiza? Of course. How much do you want to make? I see. Well, let's just make it in a large amount. I'll keep it inside my imaginary space for most of it. While for the small amount, I'll take it by hand. Oh, maybe I should make some bags as well. Seal. Understood. I made a bag using leather. I'll make 2 bags, one each for Master and Hinata. Thank you. The bag appeared in front of me. Damn, if this is some RPG game, it's definitely a cheat. But it's my own skill and ability, so I won't be blamed if I use it right. In fact, I was holding back a lot, you know. I think I have finished doing what I need for preparation. It's time to get some rest. My current state doesn't need any sleep, it's common sense. But what's wrong with a little lie down on a bed? And so, I took one of the rooms inside the house. And lie down on the bed. It's pretty comfy. I'll relax a bit for a while. And to my surprise, it's already early in the morning. Huh? Did I just unintentionally asleep? Yes, I have made Master fall asleep. What? Why? Master has to disguised as same as human. I know. But, putting me asleep without warning, it's scary, you know. Next time, tell me if you want to do something to me. Understood. Gosh, Seal just intentionally has complete control over me. I was lucky that she was doing it for my well-being. Well, it doesn't mean that having sleep is a bad thing anyway. It saves my time as well. Rather than waking up for the entire night without doing anything, having a sleep is better. Now, it's already morning. The sun hasn't risen yet. But let's get prepared. I came out of my room and went to the living room. I found Hinata already there and checked out the tunic I made last night. Good morning, it seems you looking better. Morning, are these the clothes we'll be wearing? Yeah, unstylish as it is, but it's probably the most common clothes in here. But I've made it very durable for this world's standard. Alright, it's not that I wanted to wear cute clothes as well. I turn myself into slime and absorb the clothes I made. Then, I'm changing my form into a humanoid once again, but this time, I already wear my tunic. Hinata glared at me. What's wrong? You didn't expect me to change my clothes in front of you, right? No. Then, I'll be waiting outside. Crap, I completely forgot. But at least she can move to another room and change it there, right? Why do I have to get out? Silly me. Only a couple of minutes later, she came outside of the house. She bring 2 bags of bread that I made last night. Crap, I also forgot to bring them before. Don't worry, I'll carry it until we reach the market. At least I can do this for you. Well, I take your offer then. But it's quite far, you know. I actually intend to go to a bigger market. And it's 20 kilometers away from here. If we walk, we'll arrive in the afternoon. No problem. You lead the way. Okay then. Follow me. Then we walked through the forest until we found a small road heading to the nearby town after I absorbed the house again. There's almost nobody using this road because we haven't seen anyone around. We found some carriage tracks though. And after we walked for several kilometers, we found a broken carriage. One of the wheels has come off, and there are some burn marks on one side of the carriage. We found some human skeletons there. After seeing that carriage, Seal reported something. Master, 10 people are hiding with malicious intent several meters away from our position. Oh, bother. I think I know who are they. Rimuru, it seems we've been watched. I know, they're hiding several meters ahead. What do you want to do? Shouldn't we engage them? Hinata smiled after hearing my reaction. Seems like she just wanted to check if we are on the same page. Right, I was worried you might want to take another route to avoid them. Well, that's one of the options, but... Yeah, I get it. Let's get it done. All right. We didn't sheath our swords just yet. Pretending to be off guard. And after walking several more meters, 6 people were coming out from their hiding. It seems the other 4 would stay hiding to lay an ambush. The remaining of them are carrying a crossbow. It seems they plan to shoot us if everything doesn't go as planned. Right, and we have to pretend to not notice them for now. The 6 people in front of me were wearing armor made from metal. The 4 of them wield a halberd, while the rest of them wield a sword and an axe. Their armor looks the same, and they even wear an emblem with a dragon figure in it. They also wear a white tattered cape. Hold on. They more look like a soldier rather than a bandit. Something's not right here. So I decided to speak first. Oi. Who are you guys? What are you doing for blocking our way? Then, one of them replied. Hand us your supplies. We're going to let you go unharmed if you did. Both of me and Hinata were staring at each other. What are you guys saying? Huh? What do you mean? They just asked us to hand over our supplies. Is that so? All I hear were unfamiliar words. Huh? Hinata didn't understand our talks? But I just understand them perfectly though. I have changed their sound wave into familiar words with Master's hearing sense. The same goes with Master's voice. I have tuned it so it produces a familiar language for them. Really, this Seal. It's really helpful. My deepest gratitude to you, Seal. Just leave it to me, Master. Well, I happen to have an ability to automatically translate their words. And that's what they said. It seems they asking to hand over our supplies. You really have a lot of convenient ability. Well, to be honest, the situation doesn't seem right. Just asking for supplies is too generous for a mere bandit. So she's also noticed they're probably not just a simple bandit. You're right. Their equipment is pretty much like a soldier though. What do you think we should do? Tell them we can't give them any supply. I want to see what their reaction. All right. So I speak again to them. Sorry, but we can't. We need to sell the food we brought to earn money. If that's the case, we have to take it by force. Then, the 6 of them changed their stance into a battle position. The swordsman and the axeman move behind, while the 4 halberd wielders form a line in front of them. The crossbowman who's been hiding also starting to aim at us. Oh dear, it seems it's going to be a battle. Last chance. Give us your food and no one will be harmed. This is getting more confusing. Do they seem to be desperate? Also, I didn't catch any of his words are going to kill us. Usually, the bandit didn't mind killing anyone they rob. And worst, having fun with a female victim. I have Hinata who looks hot just by looking at her face, yet they never mention handing her over to them. Not that I wanted them to do it though. And that battle stance, with that formation, it's not an effective way to ambush us. It only looks like they threaten us. But if the fight really goes on, they're going in the defensive position. They don't seem to have any intention of charging at us. I don't know what they're saying, but it seems they don't want to fight us for real. Hinata made a comment. And I agree with her. Yeah, it made the situation more confusing. Correction. The malicious intent that I've reported before turned out to be desperation driven by starvation. From a quick analysis, it seems they haven't eaten anything for 3 days. 3 days? Damn man, that's very rough for sure. I become seriously praised them to stay alive and still manage to not resort to killing us already. Hinata, they seem to be in pretty bad starvation. I think we should give them the food we have in our bags for now. Then what if they asked for more than just our food? Then we'll deal with them with force. Sounds good to me. And then Hinata let go of the bag she's been carrying. She gave it to me, and let me go to them for handing it over. All right. Lower your weapon. We're going to give you our food. After I said it, they immediately lowered their weapon and broke off their formation. I walked up to them and handed over the 2 bags full of bread. And once they receive the bag, they immediately open it up. Oh. They became overjoyed. All of them gather around and eat the bread with high intensity. Heck, even the crossbowmen just got out of their hiding and joined them without being wary of me and Hinata. Hinata walked over to me and looked at the scene with a sympathetic face. She seems to pity them. The sight really made me feel sorry for them. Until at some point, I was thinking of secretly bringing more bread from my imaginary space. But I managed to hold it since it probably can be seen by them. Both I and Hinata didn't know what to do. At first, we're going to sneakingly leave them and search for some quiet place to bring up more bread from my imaginary space, along with making more bags and then continuing our journey. But just when we try to walk past them, the guy who talked to me before is stopping me by blocking my way. In reflex, Hinata put her hand on her sword. While I was immediately taken a few steps backward. I don't know what he's going to do, but just in case I put my guard up. But then, he bows himself so low. And continue to perform a digiza toward me. The rest of them are following what he did. We're very sorry for robbing you. Raising our weapon against a civilian is the most dishonorable thing to do by a knight, but we have no choice. Please, if you want to punish us, just take my head for replacing my friend's life. I'm begging you. Captain. No, please don't do that. Oh, honorable one, please take my head instead. Captain Allen is a very important person, we cannot lose him in our current state. No. Oh my good sir, please spare Captain and Leroy. You can release your anger to me instead. I'll take any punishment you'll give. But please, spare my captain and my comrade's life. Oi! What the hell are these guys saying? Taking their head? I won't do that. Well, robbing people is a serious crime. But I understand it's because of their desperation. In the modern world, I think there are several cases where criminals are doing a bad thing because they were desperate. I glanced at Hinata. She seems to not understand the situation clearly. So I explain it to her. Then after my explanation, Hinata made a suggestion. Then tell them to explain what's the story behind their action. It seems like they're a pretty decent knight. Yeah, they're willing to protect their comrade even if it will take their life. So I turned back again at them. They're still quarreling about who's going to take the punishment. Luckily for you guys, none of them would be killed. Well, at least for now. Lift your heads up. We won't punish you after we saw how starving you are. They lift their head a bit, but they are still in the Dajiza position. Then, the captains speak again. Oh my good sir, you're too generous. We have tarnished our honor by robbing the people we ought to protect. We cannot continue our life as a proud knight without getting a proper punishment. Then they put down their head once again. Guh. This is really troublesome. This is why I don't like stiff etiquette. What are they saying? Why they're still performing Dajiza? Hinata asked. Well, it seems they really wanted to be punished. They talk about honor and pride as a knight. I get it. Then, tell them I'll smack them with my unsheathed sword. I want to test how powerful the humans are in this world. Whoa. Are you sure? You will holding back, right? Of course. And don't forget to make them tell the cause of their action. All right. And be sure to hold back, okay? Hinata nodded. And then I tell them about our decision about their punishment. Then, my older sister here will hit you with her sword scabbard. And you guys have to tell us why you're doing this. To be only punished by a hit of a sword, it still cannot restore our honor, oh good sir. Then, take it as your real punishment. You'll live with your honor being tarnished. You can restore it when I gave you a more proper punishment. Consider you guys owe me 1 inch. Why yes, certainly, oh good sir. They seem to be underestimating Hinata's strength. Well, I'll make you regret that. Now they gonna provide us with some data about this world's human power and have them owing me. Hee, I wonder who's the villain here. I nodded to Hinata. She nodded back and immediately took her sword into her grip. Of course, without sheathing it out from its scabbard. Her face was dead plain. Looks like it wasn't her first time doing this. Scary. Even though it's not a brutal sight, I chose to turn away and didn't see any of them being punished. Those knights are still in Dajiza before I turned my eyes away, and seconds later. Asterisk smack. Ack. What the? Asterisk smack. Ow. Asterisk clang. Arg. And it goes on until the last person. After I turned again, I see none of them get on their feet. All of them were lying down on the ground. Even some of them get faint. I thought you would holding back. It's not my fault. They're surprisingly weaker than I thought. Even their armor was not very good. After she said that, I saw some dents in their armor. Really, she has done it. I sighed. But Hinata is not bothered at all. At least it would give Seal some accurate analysis. Yes, and now I'm very certain of the average strength of the people in this world. Those knights are equivalent to the D rank class according to Tempest level strength. The fact they're already through training to become a knight, the average human strength in this world is E rank. So the average people in this world might only be as strong as Goblin, huh? It seems the cause of it was the lifestyle they have at this level of civilization. Those knights must be in utter pain after being hit by Hinata, who's over S rank. She said she's holding back though. I check on their injuries and was relieved when I saw no serious injuries in them. Seriously, if they got a serious injury such as broken bones or fractured one, I have to use a potion. But the bruise is very bad. Their skin started to turn purple-colored. It will stay like that for days, I guess. And the marks might last forever. That's what you get for underestimating Hinata. All of them can't move for a while after being hit by Hinata. And once they could move, they carry their comrade who fainted to the side of the road. Their captain is the one who talked again to me after a brief silence. We really owe you one, good sir. And we'll wait for any opportunities given to restore our honor from you. This captain, I guess his name is Alan, right? Correct. All right, I remember this guy's name. Captain Alan once again bow at me, along with around 3 of his men who already recovering. All right. Captain Alan, isn't it? For now, let's introduce ourselves first. My name is Johan, and this is my older sister, Izu. Hinata nodded when she heard her name being mentioned. I guess even though she didn't understand what we said, she could guess what we were talking about right now. My deepest gratitude to you, Yohandano, Izudano. It's a miracle we could be saved from this dire situation without having to lose any single life. As you already know, my name is Alan. Alan Cormac. I'm a captain of the 10th Royal Knight Brigade under Prince Constance. And all of the men behind me are my subordinates and my proud knights. Everyone. Introduce yourself. Yes. My name is Leroy Earhart. I'm a vice captain of the 10th Royal Knight Brigade. My deepest apologies for our action. I just nodded, and the introductions still continue. My name is Gildo. A member of the 10th Royal Knight Brigade Dash. My name is Jared. A member of Dash. My name is Hilton. A member of Dash. I really wanted to cut off and say, just say your goddamn name, but I hold it back since it might be rude for them. Hinata glances at me, probably wondering what exactly are they saying. But I just shook my head, saying it was not something important. I mean, their names are important. But as far to say their affiliation while their captain already did, it's a bit too much for me. Well, long story short, I managed to know these guys' names. The captain, a pretty muscular man 185 centimeters in height, is Alan Cormac. The vice captain, a slender figure but 196 centimeters in height, is Leroy Earhart. And the members are Gildo Fantin, Jared Talkin, Hilton Arena, Pomus Namer, Garda Lilquist, Louis Suter, Fanner Balga, and Coral Venema. The rest of the member pretty much has a similar figure. Some of them are slender and some of them are muscular. They basically have white skin, but it seems tanned by sunburning. Their height is around 180 to 190 centimeters. It's actually a pretty decent figure as a knight. But what are they doing here? Shouldn't a knight is staying at a castle? And who are they mentioning? A prince? I asked them to tell me everything they had to me. And it became a long talk. It seems not just Captain Allen who is eager to speak, but the whole squad is eager to do it too. Honestly, it's a pretty long story with various points of view, and I can see some exaggeration at some point. But to summarize, they're a victim of power struggles in this kingdom. Their lord, Prince Constance, is in a quarrel with the Crown Prince. They suspect the Crown Prince is a puppet of corrupt noble houses. The people love Prince Constance more, so when the king passed away, these two princes start a war on each other. Oh boy, it looks like we have to avoid this conflict as much as we could. Although they seem to be a decent knight, Fighting for someone who claims to be a better person than the other is a bit unacceptable to me. His Highness Prince Constance is a noble and kind-hearted person. He would always help anyone who was in need. Even though His Highness is a true male, his gentle personality can rival a full-flexed mother. Unlike Prince Terrace, who only like luxury. We won't give this kingdom to a such person. Captain Allen ends his explanation with a fiery expression. This guy. Isn't it embarrassing to compare a full-grown man with a mother figure? I'm starting to suspect this captain had some mother issue. But hey, they haven't told us the reason why they ended up in this state though. That's a pretty long story, but how can a night like you be ended in this such a state? Well, that's It's all right, Captain. Let me be the one who explains it. Leroy suddenly interrupted. Yohandano, it's really embarrassing for us, so we would really be thankful for you to keep it secret. I know I'm asking a lot after your generous act, but once again please spare our dignity a bit more for this by never mentioning it in front of His Highness Constance. I really don't care, man. Just tell me already, for goodness sake. Like I will meet with this prince anyway. Yes, don't worry about it. So, what happened to you guys? I managed to pretend to be calm. Thank you very much, Yohandano. Now, let me tell you the story behind our state. We were on a mission to scout an area to build a base for our resistance against Crown Prince's army. But on our way, we were, lost. We didn't have many supplies with us, so we quickly ran out of food. We never came to this area and we didn't know any edible plants. We tried to hunt some animals, but this thick woods always made us fail. We walked further in every direction, but we never encounter any people, village, or town. So we always come back into this exact same spot. And when we saw you carrying something, we were out of mind and intentionally planned to rob you. Why though? You could just be asking nicely. If you ask, I would still give it to you. We're very sorry. I was the one who made a false accusation. False accusation? Yes, because I saw both of you bring a sword. I convinced my comrades that you're an enemy who's on the same mission as us. Besides, it's embarrassing for us to beg for food. Leroy had a really red-skinned face right now. I saw everyone else was also the same. Wouldn't it be more embarrassing to hurt people? Probably the starvation has messed up their way of thinking as well. Oh yeah, right. I completely forgot that they already hadn't eaten anything for 3 days. I have never been under starvation, so I can't judge them simply by their action. The last time I'm facing starvation was when the Orc Lord incident. I sighed deeply. Hinata, who saw my troubled face, is giving me a puzzled look. I pity her. She seems at a great disadvantage for not being able to understand this world's language. I'll have to think about the solution for her. All right, I have heard your story. Now, I need to talk with my sister. So I leave them for a while and walked straight to Hinata. I explain everything I just heard before starting from Captain Allen and his Vice Captain Leroy. They have a bit honorable attitude, but surprisingly dumb intelligence. Ouch. Even I didn't think that harshly. Well, they won't understand what she says even if they heard her voice though. Oh, even though they won't understand what you said, you can't be that rude, you know. Sorry, I just say what's on my mind. But honestly, now I'm afraid of something. Huh? Afraid of what? Based on these night stories, this prince had some similar personality as Sensei. Wait. On second thought, Seal never told me who is the person who has half of Shizu-san's soul. Seal, please confirm that this prince is not the one who possessed half of Shizu-san's soul. I cannot 100% confirm who's being inhabited by Shizu's soul for now. I can only locate where it is. Now I'm sweating for no reason. No, not physically sweating, but I feel some cold breeze heading down my spine. I don't know why, but I feel like being mentally hurt if Shizu-san's soul inhabits a male. Even though it's only half of her total soul. What's that face? Are you disappointed if Sensei doesn't reincarnate as a female again? And no. That's not it. It's... Huh? What is it? In the first place, why I felt disappointed. I should have known that Shizu-san might become a completely different person. But what is this feeling? I don't know. I muttered those words. It's actually more like an answer to my question. It's okay. I too would be troubled if Sensei's reincarnated as a male. Hinata responded with a little smile on her lips. She seems genuine in her voice, but I felt that's something more to it. It's like, she's confirming something. Ah, we don't have to worry about that. It's not even a complete soul anyway. So even if the prince was the one who's being inhabited by half of the Shizu-san's soul, he's not a reincarnation of Shizu-san. Surprisingly, my words are more comforting to me. I see. You have a point. But even so, I would still take him as sensei. Okay, I won't hold you back. Hinata nodded to me. Well, for now, let's talk again with the knights. They seem to be lost. I assume they still didn't know where they should go. So what are you guys going to do? You still didn't know where to go, right? Captain Allen is once again who answers me. Yes, as embarrassing as it is, but we still didn't know where the closest town is. But I think after eating, we could continue our search. This isn't a good idea. Seal, is Cardinale's town still far away? It's still about 16 kilometers away. I think they can go walk for that distance. And it's already afternoon. Gah. It's because of these guys we're getting late. But leaving them here might be a bad idea as well. For humanity's sake, I didn't want to abandon them. But I don't want to get dragged into their conflict. So I will affirm it with them. Then, how about coming with us? We're heading to Cardinale's town. You can act as our bodyguard along the way. Cardinale's? You know the way, Yohandano, the captain asked. Yes, we both are heading there since we heard there's a huge market over there. Oh. My pleasure, Yohandano. And actually, we have an outpost in that town. We'll give you our provisions and money in exchange for the food we have taken before. Really? Thank you very much for that. I'll take your offer then, Captain Allen. My pleasure, Yohandano. Now, shall we depart before it's getting dark? You're right. Then, I'll lead the way. Yes. Then we all departed in surprisingly high spirits. We have walked more than 10 kilometers away already. These guys are lively. They always talked to me and tried to start a conversation with Hinata. But unsurprisingly, she ignored them. Not because she's being rude, but because she can't understand them. In that case, I always tried my best to avert their attention from Hinata and talk to me instead. But I guess it won't be long before they start to question her behavior. Yohandano, I'm sorry to ask, but is your sister okay? Is it because our actions before caused her to hate us? Leroy asked. See? Just as when I think about it. Well, she's pretty much a solitary person. Your action is part of her behavior, but mostly, she always likes that. I see, it's no wonder. Our actions are unforgivable anyway. Leroy began to sink in his thought. Poor guy. Being told lies. But seriously, I have to think of a way out of this. Hinata's inability to understand this world's language would arouse problems for us. Seal, is there any solution for this? I have one simple solution, but it will cause some drawbacks for Master. Ho. What is it? For unknown reasons, Hinata stopped using her magic sense skill. The highest possibility of her reason is that she didn't find any magicules in this world, and concluded it would be no use for using a magic sense. If the possibility is correct, then using Master's Magicule Reserve, I could release some Magicule to the air and help her to get her sense again. I see. I get it. There are two drawbacks for me. 1. Without any Magicules in the air, I also would have a hard time regenerating my Magicules Reserve. And 2. The Magicules I released would form an aura that could be lethal to an ordinary human. For the second problem, Master doesn't have to worry since I will carefully control it so it won't be dense enough to harm the surroundings. Some people with sensitive senses might feel some of Master's aura, but it wouldn't be harmful enough to them. Oh. So reliable seal. So, the only problem right now is my Magicules Reserve. What should I do? In the current condition, the Magicules Reserve in Master's capacity would be sufficient enough to fulfill the energy for both Master and Hinata in 300 years without regenerating. But without having to release the Magicules Reserve and only use it for the Master's need, the reserve would last for 100 years more. Whoa. So I have an immense of Magicules? Wait, oh yeah, I guess you're right. I'm already a part of True Dragon. The True Dragon had an immense of Magicules inside them. Even Veldora manages to survive for 300 years inside the infinite prison. So there's no problem at all then. Who said I would stay here for more than 300 years? Heck, I don't even think I would stay here for a year. Well, let's do it later. Let's talk about it when we are already on our own. For now, I'll continue my journey to Cardinales. I can't use teleportation to go here since I didn't have an exact coordinate. Well, even if I can, I wouldn't do it since I got more company than I have planned. It's still a fun moment though. I glanced at Hinata. She's wearing a light brown tunic, with a long sleeve on her arm and long brown leather pants. While I'm wearing a light blue tunic with a short arm sleeve, with the same pants as Hinata. Our shoes are more like small boots. It might be a bit uncomfortable, but it's better than going barefoot. Hinata doesn't seem to say anything and just looks around with her hand on her sword's hilt. Apparently, she just wanted to look like being on guard, even though she can perceive anything with her magic sense. And by this time, Hilton, one of the knights, started to talk to me. Yohandano, may I ask you something? Sure, what is it, Hilton-san? Sorry if I'm being rude, but are you born in a knight family? Huh? No, we're just a normal family. Are you sure? Yes, why you ask? No, sorry. It's just, Iziadano's strength is very powerful. We have never been hit that bad by anyone. So I think Iziadano has been trained in some swordsmanship, and her muscles must be very strong. I thought only a knight and nobility family can receive such training. What should I say right now? What kind of white lie I could say to him? Honestly, I feel bad for them that I kept lying. But I do not want to say we're from another world with magical power recklessly. At least, I would tell if it's necessary. Well, we've been living deep inside of the forest. We have to be strong to survive. Because if not for ourselves, then who would protect our safety? After hearing my answer, Hilton-san averted his eyes from me to Hinata. Then he let out a small laugh. I guess you're right, Yohandano. But if I could be honest, I would love to become Iziadano's protector. Oh. This guy. I see what you did there. No, that's actually very normal. Instead, I would find it strange if none of them are interested in her. But just give up my man. She's entirely in a different league in all aspects. As a man, I know I shouldn't say this, but it's useless for you to struggle. No matter how hard you fight for her. I suddenly recalled someone named Nicholas. I think I remember him being overly head over heels to Hinata, but still being ignored. Just don't be like that guy, Hilton-san. Well, I don't think you need to. I see, but it's not a wrong thing to try, right, Yohandano? WL. Cut the crap, Hilton. Can't you see what we've done to her? How could someone as beautiful as Izedano going to fall with someone who's hurting her? Captain Allen rebukes him out of nowhere. Maybe you're right, Captain. Hilton-san began to sulk. And then he walked a bit far away from me, with a little sad face being shown. Believe me, you have been saved. I'm sorry on that guy's behalf, Yohandano. He rarely has her eyes on women. So I thought he's a decent person in terms of treating a lady. Don't worry, Alan-san. My sister is well known for her beauty. In fact, I was a bit surprised that nobody had tried to hit on her from the start. Ahaha. If I didn't do that disgraceful act, I probably would buy some nice accessories as a gift for her. But even so, I can't do that. I've already found my life's partner. Ho-hoo. So Alan-san is already married, huh? That's good for him. I honestly feel happy for him. And a bit jealous, of course. So you've been married, Alan-san? I'm happy for you. Ha ha ha. Thank you so much. Even if she's not as beautiful as Izedano, nobody is able to compare to her in my eyes. You're surprisingly a romantic person, Alan-san. Please don't mind him, Yohandano. He and his wife already have a reputation for being lovebirds everywhere they go. Leroy suddenly joined in. Ho ho. That's actually nice. How about you, Leroy-san? Have you already married? Yes, fortunately, I have. We already have 2 children too. Whoa. Even Leroy-san already has a child. I'm happy, but at the same time, I felt a little pain. Is it jealous? Really? Your marriage must be a happy life. I am really happy for you. Thank you so much, Yohandano. My marriage life is fine. Sometimes we quarreled, but we always manage it. That's a high-quality couple, I see. And how about the rest of you? I fortunately already have. Me too. Me as well. I haven't, but I already engage with someone. Some of them keep quiet and avert their gaze somewhere else. Whoops. I guess I step a landmine on some of them. But surprisingly, most of them are already married. And they look young. Must be nice being a young couple. Wait, why do I think about married life? How about you, Yohandano? Do you actually have a wife? Ouch. I don't know why, but that question is a bit hurt. WL. I don't. And honestly, I don't think I would have 1 inch. Because I'm sexless. I'm a man inside, but outside, I don't have any gender at all. All I have is a face resembling Shizu-san. Eh? Why do you think like that? With your face, I'm sure you'll be taken interest by 2 or 3 ladies. What? This is the first time I heard such a statement. Seriously, I have never been praised for my face. Shuna and Cheyenne might always praise my appearance, but never specifically about my face. Really? I thought my face is more girly rather than masculine. I can't help but confess my true thought. To be honest, I think you're right. But if you cut your hair and wore a more masculine attire, I think you would be a lady killer, Yohandano. Pfft. I can't help but laugh at them. It's really amusing. It makes my confidence rise a bit. Thanks, that actually lit up my confidence a bit, guys. My, don't mention it, Yohandano. We're just telling you the truth. We all laughed together. It's really a fun time. And then, without no one realizing, Cardinali's already in our sight. Oh. We've finally arrived. Thank goodness. Now, what are we waiting for? Let's go. Captain Allen becomes a very high-spirited person as soon as Cardinales is in our sight. We fastened our walks, and not even 10 minutes later, we arrived at the front gate. There's a huge pit filled with water under the city walls, so we have to cross a bridge to get into the front gate. Some corners of the city walls had a tower where they put on a ballista. On my count, I found around 15 men guarding the front part of the walls. This city seems to be pretty big. And it's pretty well fortified as well. No wonder Seal found a big market here. It seems I'm gonna find something fun here. Halt. Whoops, the gatekeeper seems to stopping us. Is there a need to show some ID? If it does, then Hinata and I were screwed. Don't worry, Doran, we can vouch for these people. But Captain, are you sure? In this circumstance, we have to. Now. Don't sweat it. I believe these guys are a good person. Okay then, you can come in. Phew, turns out we're saved. It makes me grateful for stumbling upon them along the way. Sorry about that guy, Yohandano. He's one of our new recruits. He's still young and stiff. You guys are pretty stiff too. Seriously, before we began to have a casual talk, they have been in formal attitude all the time. And honestly, I feel exhausted by that. Because I am always being treated like that in my world by my comrades. Especially Diablo. But because of it, I get pretty used to strict etiquette. That's okay, Captain Allen. Somehow, I get used to something like that. Thank you, Yohandano. Now, as I said before, let's go to our base. I'll give you our provisions and money. Thank you very much. We walked together for several hundred meters. The place they call the base is actually a barracks along with training grounds. There, we saw more than 100 knights doing training. And there are dozens more in every hallway I saw. It seems like this knight brigade had a lot of members. Captain Allen and the other 3 knights are following him into one of the rooms, while the rest led by Leroy-san are heading into a building that looks like a warehouse. We were told to wait outside. And while we waiting, some of the knights are checking out to Hinata. Some of them are also mistaking me for a lady. Probably because of this long hair. By the way, I changed my hair color to black before we departed, but I hadn't cut it since I thought it wouldn't be a problem. But it turns out, in this world, having long hair is identical as a female. Well, I guess I have to cut it short then. But everyone is respectful towards us. They might be pondering us, but they didn't do inappropriate things. They're decent knights as expected. Hinata looks unbothered by their gaze. And keep quiet during the whole time. And luckily, not long after that, Captain Allen and Leroy-san arrived. They brought a pack of dried meat, 1 bag of coins, and 4 bottles of water. They also give us some extra bags. And the most precious one, a tent. I'm sorry this might be insufficient to repay the food we took from you. But we have added extra money to that bag. And I hope this tent would help since Yohandano doesn't seem would stay in this city. Leroy-san handed over the provisions. The other guys also share their own money in there. It has about 200 zalk. I hope it will be enough to repay your kindness, Yohandano, and you too, Izadano. I wonder how much 200 zalk is, but before I could ask, Captain Allen handed over the pouch of coins to me. I handed it over to Hinata along with the extra bag and the tent, while I carry the food and water. It looks like we're a sibling who just finished shopping. But hey, we disguised ourselves as a sibling anyway. So that means our disguises are successful. Thanks a lot, everyone. All of this is more than enough. I thanked them sincerely. Both of them smiled. So, Yohandano, what will you do for now? Captain Allen asked. We would like to sightseeing for now. We probably departing again tomorrow morning though. Actually, I was planning to teleport to where Shizu-san's soul was located tonight. It might be a good time to perform magic at night. That's unfortunate then. I wish I could accompany you sightseeing right now, but I have many reports to do. This dumb captain wouldn't be able to handle it by himself. Leroy-san said this with a casual tone. Oi Leroy. You can phrase it with better words, you know? But truth to be told, yeah, our missing has made quite a ruckus in our ranks. It can't be helped without this guy's assistance. Captain Allen made a little blush after admitting the truth. I just laughed at them. I tell them that it's not a problem at all. I express my gratitude to them again, saying I had a good time with them. They look very pleased by what I said. Even Hinata looks amused by this sight. Then we bid our farewell to them. We promised to meet each other again when the opportunity arises. I said to them that they don't have to worry about their honor being tarnished anymore since I already forgive them and received many things from them. And then, we're leaving. Now where are we going? Hinata asked after we walked quite a bit far from the barracks. I wonder. I was planning to sightsee for a while, and we teleport to Shizu-san's soul located tonight. Alright, I leave that to you. Oh, and by the way, can I ask you something? What is it? Why didn't you use your magic sense? It's obvious, isn't it? Because there are no magicules around. But isn't it can be used without magicules? I've tried, but somehow I can't use it efficiently as in Cardinal World. So in short, you can't rely on it, and that's why you didn't use it? Yes, even I had trouble right now with my sight. Oh right, I forgot. You have a myopic eye. But how did you manage to detect those nights before? Then she looked at me, with some disappointed look in her eyes. Sensei taught me a lot. Oops, I guess she implying my words is the same as looking down on Shizu-san. Sorry, I didn't mean that way. I was just genuinely curious. Alright, sorry if I offend you. Hinata only kept quiet. But she didn't complain anymore. Hey Hinata, I have something to discuss with you. Let's find somewhere quiet. I intend to talk about my, no actually Seal's plan on helping Hinata. And I thought Hinata might have negative thoughts about my intention given my words in asking her, but surprisingly she accepted it casually. I guess she already knew what I want to discuss. After we found some alley, I started to explain Seal's suggestion, without mentioning Seal at all. I explained to her about my current magicule capacity, but I didn't mention my evolution into the true dragon. At first, she refused because she worried I would deplete my magicule for her sake. But after I said that it was fine, she hesitantly accepted. The last time I let you drain your magicules out was when our first encounter. To be honest, it's not a pleasant memory. Oh. So that's her reason for still being hesitant. I honestly didn't expect it. Moreover, I felt genuinely touched. At that time, she trapped me inside a holy prison field, and it's erasing magicules around me. I can't use my full power there since I have a limited magicule reserve. And most of all, Hinata is being serious to kill me at that time. As she said, it's unpleasant memories. I try to smile and cheer her up. Don't worry about that anymore. It's all past, just let it go. And now I'm. Also, the idea of me relying upon you is a bit annoying. The early feeling that I felt suddenly got lost. I lost my smile too. In contrast, I saw a nosy smile on her lips. So you're doing it on purpose? Gay. I should have known. Alright, I don't care anymore. Just use the magicule I release so you can use your magic sense again. Fufu, then I accept your offer. Ha. I am really easy to get teased. Seal, you can start. Understood. I'm beginning to release a small amount of magicules. Thank you, Seal. Just as when Seal finished reporting, I felt some small amount of magicules around me. I glanced at Hinata, and she nodded with a little smile. All right, I guess she got no problem for now. And then, we continue to walk around the city. I found the city quite interesting. It looks like a common town in an RPG game. We followed the main road and arrived at the market. And the market is really huge. The road got wider, and on every side, there was a shop or stall selling items. Some merchants also parked their wagons full of sellable items on the side of the road. Most of them are selling herbs, plants, fruit, and vegetables they found along the way. While in the store, mostly they sell armor, clothes, fabric, general need, and weapons. And the stalls sell many kinds of food. But none of them look appetizing. I didn't find any restaurant. There seems no restaurant in this world due to a lack of demand. But there's a number of big taverns around the city. Oh. Now that's something new to me. Right, I already made a bar in my country, but it's not a tavern where food is also sold there. I guess I want to try it. The sky has been darkened a bit, but it still hasn't been night already. Hinata also seems a bit interested in looking around. She didn't show any cheerful expression, but she seemed paying attention around her. I guess asking her to come along to a tavern wouldn't be a problem, right? Hinata, there seems no restaurant here. But there's a tavern, and it's pretty big as well. Would you like to try visiting it? I guess there's no problem. Yash. She agreed without a hitch. Then let's go. We go to a nearby tavern. I'm pretty happy, to be honest. This could be a new experience for me. We got ourselves into a pretty huge tavern named Old Martha. It was a 2-story building, with one fireplace on the first floor. There's a bar desk, and many tables for customers. Some young girls are busy walking around serving every customer. Their hands are full with a big mug and plates. There's no glass window, only a wooden one. So the only light illuminating the place came from candles. It's honestly mesmerizing me. There's something I can't explain about this feeling. It sure has some hygienic issues, and the quality of food is questionable. But I felt something magical about this site. Although there's no magic at all in this place. So this is what Seal meant by picking my interest. I see, you're very reliable as always, Seal. Thank you very much. Yeah, you deserve more praise, partner. We take an empty table and sit there. In seconds, a cute teen girl came to us. She wore a dirted yellow attire with an apron. Her face is full of sweat, but she manages to give us a happy smile. Welcome, dear customer. What can I prepare for you? She sounds pretty cute. A good little sister material. No, I didn't mean it in a bad way. Excuse me, is there any menu? I asked since I don't know what they served. And then she let out a small laugh. Fufufu, it seems you came from a remote place. I guess this is your first time visiting a tavern, correct? Ehe. Actually, yeah, it's our first time coming to such a place. Then, I'm honored to be the first tavern you ever visit, my good sir. We don't have a menu, but we can prepare some simple food for dinner. Usually, people came by here to drink. If you want, we have ale, rum, and wine. Wine is the most expensive, but we guarantee the taste. Oh. How much is it? For a bottle of wine, it cost 30 zalk for the cheapest one. And the most expensive one is costed 100 zalk. Whoa. That's half of our budget. I guess we should forget to taste wine. I think I pass for wine. In exchange, I want to order 2 meals with a glass of water, please. Oh really? It's fortunate then. I'm planning to give you a discount since this is your ever first tavern. Are you sure you won't order any of our wine? Thank you for your offer, but you see, we need to save some of our money for our journey. Yeah, we don't know what will happen to us later. It's safe to assume we'll be spending some money later. But suddenly, Hinata interjects. Wait, sorry. How much discount you'll give? Oh, are you interested, young miss? Not really, my little brother over there is full of curiosity. Since I have the money, I want to let him experience anything he wants. At least for now. So that's why. Fufufu, you're a loving older sister, young miss. I thought you were going to be the one who drinks. Then, for this very kind young miss, I'll give you a special cut. How about 75 zalk for our best wine? 70 zalk. Whoa. Is Hinata going to barging? Pretty bold, I have to say. No, how about 74? Then, 65. No. How about 72 then? 66. No. Then, 71. We bought the wine for 65 zalk. We can't make a good profit if we sell lower than that. Okay, sorry. 70 zalk then. Phew. Thank you for your understanding, young miss. No. I said 71 zalk. She made a panicky face. Her tone became uncontrollable, and even the other customer started to look at us. Oi. Hinata, stop teasing her. But she let out a grin on her face. This girl. She's enjoying it. Sorry. As compensation for what I've done, I'll buy it for 72 zalk. I hope you forgive me. Hinata apologizes to the waitress. And the waitress seemed to be relieved after hearing Hinata would pay a bit more than their deal. Phew. I forgive you, young miss. But please don't do that again. It exhausts me. Poor girl. I genuinely feel pity for her. But seriously, since when has Hinata had this kind of personality? All I see this time was a serious, dry, undisturbed by anything personality. Thank you. Then, how much is it for all? It would be 82 zalk, young miss. Every meal cost 5 zalk. And no, actually, never mind. Sorry. She seems to want to offer something more, but after being teased by Hinata, she holds it back. Okay then, here. Hinata gave the money. Thank you, young miss. I'll serve it once it's ready. Then she leaves us in a hurry. I think she has many tables to serve too. But now, I'll reprimand Hinata a bit. Oi hi, Ize. You can't do that, you know, it might arise trouble for us. You're surprisingly stiff, Johan. I'd do that to gather some information as well. Information? You mean about the prices? A part of it, yes. But that's not all. Look, here we come. I was detecting some people are approaching us, but I thought they just going to walk by. But it turns out, they coming over to us. Oi. Look, we got a nice lady full of money. Care to share a table with me? Hey. Don't be a fool. Nobody wants to have a friendly chat with a drunkard like you. I'm a friendly person, you know? I'll prove it with my fist. Here. Take some. Oi. What a pain. Two men started to fight each other. One of them clearly looks drunk. His attire looks pretty decent though. He wore a clean brown tunic while carrying a mug of ale. The other one wearing a black robe. He looks a pretty good man. I think he looked like wanted to prevent this kind of thing. But unfortunately for him, he just got what he wanted to prevent. Some other men gathered. Most of them tried to separate them, while others tried to protect us. Geez, I feel like a real lady here. But then, suddenly. Asterisk boo. Ow. Asterisk smack. Ouch. The two men who were fighting suddenly growl in pain. Whoops. Looks like someone is giving them a pretty good smack. The crowd suddenly disintegrated and came back to their seats. But their gaze still looking at us. Geez, somehow it doesn't feel comfortable. Then, I saw the two men lying down on the floor. The drunk one holding his stomach, while the other one holding his waist. It doesn't look like they're having serious injuries, but they might stay down there for a while. Standing near them, a young man with a bulky figure, wearing leather armor around his body, and holding his unsheathed sword. He might be around 195 centimeters in height, and he got white skin, short black hair, and a handsome face. Whoa, he looks like a main character in every RPG game. Even though he has a bulky and handsome face, he looks pretty innocent. His expression is telling us something like, huh? Is that hurting them? Oh ho ho. I think you hit them too hard, Eric. Help them stand on their feet again, especially that guy with a black robe. It looks like he has good intentions. A sweet-looking old man suddenly came behind from that young man who seems to have Eric as his name. Eric nodded and helped the guy with the black robe first. Some other guy also helping. It seems like he is really a pretty good guy since many people are willing to help him. But as he tries to help the drunk one, nobody bats an eye on him. Whoops. It seems he's a pretty hated person here. Nonetheless, that guy named Eric is bringing that drunkard out of the tavern. Then, the old man walks to our table, followed by Eric. Excuse me, it seems the other table is full. May I ask to share your table for this old man and my grandson? My pleasure, good sir. Take a seat. Hinata accepts them. She gave him a gentle smile. Oh ho ho. What a sweet lady. Oh. But it seems you're not a female, no? He looked at me after taking a seat beside Hinata, while his grandson Eric took a seat beside me. And that old man comment was making people around look at us more intently. Yes, I'm actually a man. What? I hear a murmur around us. Sorry guys, it seems I have disappointed you somehow. Well, I thought he was a girl. His voice sounds girly. Yeah, his slender body looks like a fine lady. Humph. No wonder his way of walking doesn't look feminine. Yeah. So that's why the chest is flat. Oi. That's sexual harassment. Hinata seems to be holding her laugh, while I am in mixed feelings between embarrassment and upset. Ha ho ho. What a lively place it is. I may not know everyone, but I'm sorry if any one of them offends you, Mr. Johann, nice to meet you, good sir. Oh. So your name is Johann. My apologies, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Gray Pulfric. As you might already know, I'm his grandfather. He pointed to Eric. And I'm Eric Pulfric. Pleased to meet you, Johann-san. I haven't introduced myself too. My name is Izawa. I'm Johann's older sister. Oh, so both of you are siblings? I heard another murmur around us. We both nodded at the same time. I see. It's a pretty rare occasion to meet siblings in such a place, especially a brother and sister. Excuse me, Johann-kun, do you smoke? Eh? Smoke? Do you mean smoking tobacco? Is there such a thing in this world? It's been so long I haven't heard that word. Smoke? No, unfortunately. I never smoke actually. It's true. I just remember. In my original world, some of my colleagues always have a cigarette during lunchtime breaks. I was never interested to try it, so I never smoke in my entire life. But I totally forgot about it, and honestly, it makes me interested now somehow. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. This old man would like to have a chat with a pipe in his mouth, but it's okay, Johan-kun. Then, do you mind if I smoke here? Not at all, Grace-san. Please do as you like. Then, excuse me for the smoke. He takes out a pretty long pipe from his pocket. Then he takes a pack of tobacco out of his other pocket and puts some of the tobacco inside the pipe. He burns a small twig in his hand from a nearby candle and put it in the pipe. Moments later, a puff of smoke was flying into the air. I am genuinely interested. I mean, I have never been remember anything about smoking. It's a complete loss from my memory when I want to recreate Earth cuisine in the cardinal world. Although I probably would never smoke, perhaps my other colleague would find it interesting. Yeah, I'm imagining someone like Hakuru, Gadra, or Kaijin might like it. Heck, even I think Gazel might gonna like it. I'm sorry for my grandfather, Johan-san. The whole family has tried to stop him since it's bad for your lungs, but he would never listen even though it's bothering other people too. Eric said this to me with an apologetic tone. I think what he meant is the smoke from Grayson might harm our lungs as well. I appreciate that concern, but I don't have a lung, and I think Hinata won't be in trouble too. It's okay, Eric-san. No one can beat an old man, right? Ha ha ha. I tried to lighten up the mood by joking around. Ah ha ha ha. You surprisingly understand this old man's feelings, Johan-kun. See, Eric? Why don't you learn from him? Johan-kun, please enlighten my grandson a bit more. Grandfather. Johan-san is only joking, right, Johan-san? Yeah. Oh yeah. Smoking is not a good thing for your health, Grayson. Eh? But you just said you're okay with me smoking here? Irk. I knew I could never win against this kind of situation. For another next minute, we continue to exchange a banter of words while laughing. Hinata and Eric seem a bit more reserved. Man, I feel like an old man by having a good time with Grayson. I'm sorry for the wait. Here are your orders. A girl from before comes back with a tray. She brought 2 plates of bread, 2 bowls of corn soup, 2 mugs of water, and a bottle of wine. Grayson and Eric-san saw our orders and were shocked after seeing a bottle of wine being served. Eh? Johan-san, are you ordering a wine? Technically, my older sister there is the one who orders it. But truth be told, I was the one who wanted it. Hinata nodded when Eric-san and Grayson looked at her for confirmation. Ha ho ho. No wonder there's been a ruckus before. Young lady, we order the same, except the wine, please. Understood, I'll be right back, good sir. Grayson nodded gently to the waitress. Then he looks at Hinata. Izawa-san, are perhaps from a wealthy family? Unfortunately not. We just happen to have a good discount. Oh. What kind of discount is that? The little lady before said it's a discount as an honor for having this tavern as our very first time visiting one. Ha ho ho. What a generous tavern. But I guess, even with a discount, it is still pretty expensive. How much exactly you're paying for this? We bought this one bottle for 72 zalk. My word. And you said you're not from a wealthy family? Yes, we happen to have some money to buy it. My Izawa-san. I knew I'm not in a place to lecture a young'uns like you. But let me give you some advice. At this time, it's better to save money as much as possible. May I ask the reason? After Hinata gave the question, Grayson take out his pipe and lean forward toward us. He lowered his voice. This should not be talked about in public, but consider this as a warning. The future of this kingdom is uncertain. It's best to save ourselves before anything bad happens. Is it because of the civil war? This time, I was the one who asked. Correct, Yohan-kun. The civil war has been running for a whole year now. There is a lot of suspicion that the crown prince is being given a lot of backup from dozens of neighboring kingdoms who sought to take interest in this land. As you might already hear in rumors, Crown Prince Terence is a puppet of other kingdoms and some of the corrupt house nobles. On the other hand, Prince Constance can only rely on people who love him. Luckily, almost the whole people in this kingdom love Prince Constance. So for now, Prince Constance will able to make a resistance because many people are willing to pick up on arms for him. But if this war keeps going on, one side would certainly begin to collapse. Either Crown Prince's backup who ran out first, or Prince Constance's loyal people. I see. This has become a battle of attrition. By the looks of it, the most possible who came to collapse first is Prince Constance's side because the people, no matter how loyal they are, didn't have political power. I guess, the army also follows the nobleman, right? You have it right, Yohan-kun. Sadly, the one who has a right to make legal conscription is the king. This rule also included the right to use the royal treasury for good use to the army they conscripted. And all of those rights are in the hands of the crown prince for now. As you can see now, Yohan-kun, Prince Constance didn't have anything to support his resistance. No right to the throne, no money to pay the soldiers, no weapons to equip his army, and no political support from the nobles. All he have are the love of the people. I gave my huge respect for this Prince Constance. But in the same way, I felt very sad for him. He must be under huge pressure right now. I can imagine the stress that fell on him. At a moment, I genuinely thought that even if he was not the one who possessed half of Shizue-san's soul, I would still help him with everything I have. But again, no matter how noble this Prince Constance is, nor how holy this civil war is, my only goal here is to find Shizue-san's soul, help Hinata redeem herself, and send the love that the kids have sent to Shizue-san. If I meddle too much in this world, I'm afraid there will be unforeseen problems arising. Heck, even I already cast aside my true intention for having a break. The situation is dire. I think the only possible way to end this war in Prince Constance's favor is to have a decisive battle. Hinata made a comment. You're right, Izie-san. That's why I wanted to join the army here. Before that happens, I want to take part in it as Prince Constance's loyal army. So Eric-san wanted to join the army. I genuinely praised him for his bravery. I took a glance at Gray-san. He looked at Eric-san with a worried look, but it seems they have talked about this and Gray-san accepted his grandson's decision. If that was really the case, I only have huge respect for him. Because it means he has been through a deep conflict inside him. If I ever have a child, I would never want him to go into a war. Losing the one we love is terrifying. Right, losing the one I loved forever is the most painful thing I can imagine. I was lucky I can become a demon lord and have the power to revive my people. What would really happen to me if I can't bring my people back to life? What would happen if I can't see Cheyenne anymore? With that thought, comes a memory of Shizue-san. Her smile, her gentle hug, her sweet voice calling me Slime-san. I wonder what would happen if I have the power to revive the people when Shizue-san's dying. Would it make Hinata didn't have to redeem herself? Wouldn't that make the kids didn't lose their mother figure? Wouldn't that make Yuki a better person now? Wouldn't it make people I know be more happy? And also, wouldn't it make me happy? Yohan-kun? Grayson's voice made me come back from my deep thought. Yes? Sorry, I was thinking about something. What's going on? Ho ho ho, still young but already have a deep thought. You seem to become a wise man, Yohan-kun. Ahaha, oh please don't tease me like that, Grayson. I'm still childish in many ways. I still have a long way to go to become a full-fledged adult. Ho ho. Is that what you think, Yohan-kun? Then let me tell you something. By the way you are now, you're already mature enough as a man. I'm telling you because it's the truth. Eh? What makes you think like that, Grace-san? I'm pretty much a childish person, you know? Ahaha. Yohan-kun, you cannot fool this old man's eyes. You might didn't talk about it, but you have been through a lot, are you? And forgive me if I cross the line, but you have experienced losing a person you love, and not just once, but twice, right? Eh? This old man. No, I mean, Grace-san. Why are his words feel stabbing inside my chest? Master, continuing the talks with Gray might be making you remember a painful memory. I suggest you ended the conversation as soon as possible. No, it would be rude if I did that. So I can't. Understood. Would you like to temporarily block the possibly painful memory? Eh? Is that could be done? Of course. Anything for Master's sake. Then. No, I guess not. Facing my own past is what I should have done. I should not erase it, what I should do is make peace with it. But what should I reply to Grace-san? I glanced at Hinata spontaneously. I didn't mean for asking help, all right, I just instantly looked at her. But because of that, I saw Hinata's facial expression. She seems to be pitying me. Her eyes are a bit wistful as she looks at me. Her head is a bit down. And after a brief second, we exchange looks, and Hinata speaks up. I'm sorry, Grace-san. But what you said is true. You've crossed some line. My brother has been through a lot. So I humbly ask you to not pursue the matter. Grace-san suddenly changes his expression into a nervous one. He immediately leaned back again. Yes, of course. I'm very sorry, Yohan-kun. It seems my bad habit of not controlling my mouth is still there. Once again, I deeply apologize to you, Yohan-kun. Now I'm the one who felt bad for him. It's not as bad as the one who made sexual harassment to me before, you know. No. Please don't worry, Grace-san. You don't have to feel so down like that. But what my sister said is true, so I also humbly ask you to not pursue the matter for a while. I know I was the one who should make peace with my own feelings before, but I guess it shouldn't be done in one night, right? Oh, my deepest gratitude for pardoning this old man. Of course, I would never pry into your situation anymore. I promise that, Yohan-kun. Thank you for your understanding, Grace-san. Then, how about we change to a more friendly topic for now? Ho, sure thing. I have a lot of interesting tales. How about hearing some of them? Oh. I would love to. Then, let's begin with the legendary dragon. After a while, we hear a lot of tales of this world from Grace-san. He really is an old man with many stories to tell. I hold my little laugh about that legendary dragon tale though. Since it sounds like Veldora. The four of us keep talking around while eating. The food honestly tastes pretty bad. It almost has no flavor. But because we eat together, it doesn't taste that bad. And we also talked a bit about their journey. After many tales have been told, Grace-san told us that he is originally a merchant. He evacuated himself with Eric after Eric's parents evacuate much earlier. They intended to meet up in another town, south of here. But Eric has decided to join Prince Constance's rank along their journey. Eric's father already joins the army too, but still in training. I can conclude that they are also on Prince Constance's side, even after knowing the difficulties and prospect of winning. And after our meals are finished, we almost run out of topics. And by the looks of it, we have spent many hours here. It seems Grace-san and Eric-san also notice it. Oh my, it seems it's already almost midnight. We're sorry to take up so much of your time. We're preparing to leave now if you excuse us. Don't worry about it, Grace-san. Oh. By the way, please let us drink this wine I bought. A good drink is for a good time. That is if you're fine with alcohol. My. Are you sure, Johan-kun? Is that all right, Johan-san? Whoa, even Eric-san seems eager to have a taste. Sure, the more the merrier, right? Now, don't be shy. Let's pour the drink into our mug. I glanced at Hinata, and she only gave a nod. But it seems it made the two of them a bit anxious about Hinata's reaction. Hey, are you okay with this, Ize-san? Right, this wine is actually the one you bought for Johan-kun, right, Ize-san? You don't have to worry. If my brother says it's okay, then it's fine. I bought it for him, so it became his. Not mine. But I would like a little bit of it. Oh. It seems Hinata looks wanted to taste it. Right. Then nothing is wrong. Let's pour it into our mug. But sadly, one bottle of wine divided into 4 people could only fill a quarter of our mug. This little fella is surely a high commodity in this world. Nonetheless, both Grayson and Eric-san look overjoyed. Ha ho ho. I have only ever drunk wine once in my whole life, and its unforgettable memories. This one would also be the memory I would take to my grave. Thank you, Johan-san. This will be the first time I drink a wine. I'll remember it for my whole life. I smile at them. At this point, I don't care how good the wine is. Seeing both of them overjoyed is already made me feel happy. We all stand up, holding our mugs. Then, what should we cheer for? We all have our own goals, right? How about it? It's too heavy. I want a simple 1-inch. Ha ho ho. How about for our new friendship? That's it. For friendship. All right, I follow in. Me too. Ha ho ho. Then it's decided then. Johan-kun, lead the way. Then. For our friendship. Cheers. Cheers. We all drank it in one gulp. I don't know how exactly the taste is, but all I know, for now, I feel genuinely happy. Johan-kun, I'm really grateful to meet you. If fate allows it, I would love to meet you again sometime. The same goes for me, Gray-san. When the times come, let's meet again. Both Gray-san and I are shaking hands with full smiles. Meanwhile, Eric-san seems hesitant to say the same. Probably he thinking about the possibility of him being slain in the battle. His head is down, looking at my and Gray-san's hand. I can feel he wanted to shake my hands too, but he can't say anything. Lift your head up, be a proud warrior. Hinata interjects out of nowhere. Her face is serious, the tone was dominating. Even Grayson looks surprised. It's no wonder. Hinata doesn't sound like any lovely lady, she sounded like a respected commander. But Eric-san was surprised more than Grayson. His body was jolted for a bit, he lifted his head up and straightly looked at Hinata. Then, Hinata raises her hand, asking him to shake hands with her. They shook their hand, while Hinata pat Eric-san's shoulder. Do your best. That small sentence was the only goodbye from her to Eric-san. But that sentence is the one he needed. Yes. I'll fight with pride. Hinata nodded at him. Then, Eric-san came to me. Johan-san, I may not gonna be able to meet with you again, but I want you to know that I am grateful to meet you. I shake his hand, and I tighten the grip. I just knew him a few hours ago, but I feel sad imagining he's not going to survive in battle. I hope he's gonna through it, without having to lose his life. But being worried about him might be an insult to his resolve. Even Grayson manages to accept Eric-san's decision. What right do I have to reject his resolve? Do your best, Eric-san. I may not know about knight ethics, but you have to fight to protect the other. Yes. For the people of Casland Kingdom, and for His Highness Prince Constance. Our handshake got tightened more as we pour our strength into it. But maybe I put my strength a bit too much because Eric-san started to wince. Oops, I still need to adjust my strength in this world. Meanwhile, Hinata and Grayson also shake hands. Izawa-san, you and your brother are a very nice person. I wish people like you didn't go wasted in a war. This world needs a good young people like you. Hinata smiled at him. She gently shakes her hand with Grayson. I thought she was not gonna say anything, but it turns out she continues. I too wished a wise person like you still exist to guide the young people. Grayson lashed out a big smile at her. Seems like he's very happy receiving those words from Hinata. We bid our farewell to them. They walked outside the tavern, while still taking a peek at us. The tavern had already been pretty quiet. There are still people around, but not too many. The waitress also started to clean up the empty tables. I and Hinata are looking at each other. We should go now as well, Rimuru. Yes, let's find a place to teleport. Hinata nodded. Then we stand up and started packing things up. But as we picked out provisions, I suddenly remembered about Grayson had told us. I looked at Hinata, who already picked up the tent and the pouch of money. I understand, we don't need it anyway. Let's return it to them. It doesn't mean we're picking their side anyway. You're right, thanks. I'll return it quietly. All right. I'll wait outside the barracks. And with that, both of us agreed to return the provision we'd received from the knights. Because we actually don't need it. On the other hand, their side really in lack of supplies. Judging from Grayson's story, I assume what they give is already very lot for them. I don't like the idea of taking from those who need it. We both walked to the barracks. The street is already pretty much quiet. Only 1 or 2 people walked around. And there are some homeless in the alley. Some guards also take patrol. After reaching the barracks, I perform my form hide art. It will enable me to be undetected by the knights. I enter the barracks. Many of the knights are resting, and those who wake up are the ones who have been tasked as guards. Of course, no one is noticing me, so I was freely walking around. I remember where the warehouse is, so I'm going straight there. I open the warehouse. Yar yar. I murmur after seeing their supplies. There are still foods available, but not much. At best, it would only feed 100 people. Even with if I returned the dried meats I'd received, it still wouldn't be much. But what would happen if I made more food for them? Although it's not significant, it will help boost the morale of Prince Constance's army in this area. By this act, Master has meddled in the conflict. I suggest doing nothing about it. Yeah, Seal's right. Even so, my humanity side can't accept it easily. But I understand. I shouldn't take any side for now. So even with an unwilling heart, I can only return the dried meat and water I've received before. As I came out from the warehouse, I passed by Captain Allen's room. I thought he was already asleep, but my universal sense noticed him still awake inside the room accompanied by Leroy-san. I stopped for a while. I hear them talking. So, the evacuation of people in the north is almost finished, huh? This is Captain Allen's voice. He sounds very exhausted. Thankfully, yes. But they are still pretty far away from here. At best, the refugees will come in 3 days. That's if nothing wrong gonna happen. What can you expect with a rushed evacuation? I know, objectively speaking, it's impossible for everything gonna be fine. Give me your worst situation, Leroy. The refugees will arrive in more than a week, burdening the soldiers on the front line. And with the supply line being crowded by refugees, the vanguard wouldn't be able to stand against the enemy. With that scenario, our loss is almost certain. But we can still hold the line in this city, right? If the enemy lay a siege on this city in that scenario, I'm afraid we wouldn't be able to hold on more than 2 weeks. Let me guess, because of the supplies? Yes, as you already notice, our supplies were scarce. We were barely able to feed the Knight Brigade at this point. Even though luck has been given to us by Pulfricdano's generosity by giving all his food stock, the amount wouldn't even be sufficient to keep our knight full for a month. Is Graysan being mentioned? Now this becoming more intriguing. So, even the Pulfric Company already donated their wealth for us. Yet we still. Leroy, tell me, how many merchant companies had already donated their wealth to us? With Pulfric Company included, there are already 9 companies. 9 companies, yet here we are. Captain, for today, it's best to get some rest first. We've been through many things in the past few days. You've to rest for now, let's continue for tomorrow morning. Can't do that, Leroy. It's all my fault we've been lost for days. I have to make it up as soon as possible, I mean look at these papers. I have to prepare a lot for upcoming battles and accepting refugees. I can see Leroy-san showing an exasperated smile. Then, let me help you, Captain. Thanks a lot. By the way, do we still have some alcohol? I would like to take some if we have 1 inch. I hear a short pause. Yes, I think there's still some ale in the warehouse. Oh. Then, I'll bring it here for us. Let's work with some drinks. Wait, let me bring it out for you. You sure? I'll take your offer then. Thanks. Sure thing, Captain. Then the door is open. I saw Leroy-san in a casual tunic but still has his swords in his waist. He came out of the room, looking to the right and left. Then he walks the opposite way from the warehouse. Huh? I think I heard him saying he will go to the warehouse. Out of curiosity, I followed him after activating my Argos in Captain Allen's room. Captain Allen is starting to work on papers, while I still following Leroy-san. Leroy-san came into one of the rooms in the hallway. I didn't come inside, but I can notice that it was his private room. He bends his body near the bed and takes out a box under it. There, I saw some bottles of alcohol. I notice half of them are already empty, and Leroy-san takes out one which still contains alcohol in it. Leroy-san let out a smile after finding it. Then he put the wooden box back under his bed and came back to Captain Allen's office. I see, Leroy-san is lying about there's still a stock of ale in the warehouse. And so, he takes out alcohol from his private stock. What a wholesome subordinate. I smiled looking at the scene. Both of them share an ale in a cup. Captain Allen stopped his paperwork for a while. Let's get your family safe, Leroy. My deepest gratitude, Captain. But, as a knight, saving people is our priority. But your family is also a people of this kingdom. If I failed to save my own colleague's family, I won't have a face to His Highness. Then if that's the case, I shouldn't have any face to you, Captain. The atmosphere suddenly becomes grim. Leroy stopped his drink, and his head is looking down. His face suddenly showed a deep regret. But Captain Allen gave him a warm smile. Are you still blaming yourself for Maria's death? No one else could be blamed for your wife's death other than me. I already said it, let it go. It's her resolve. As her proud husband, I have nothing but respect for my wife. She died as a proud knight. It's our job to continue her legacy. But I have tarnished it. You still regret what we have done to Yohandano and Izidano? Absolutely. I can never forgive myself for that. But they already forgive us. I'm sure they are very good people. But it only makes it worse for me. I have done bad things to the good people. Sometimes, I questioned myself, am I really fit to become a knight? It seems Leroy-san become a bit drunk. I always saw a composed attitude from him, But right now, he's very emotional. But it's no wonder. From those talks alone, I can see there's a huge emotional pain inside Leroy-san. It seems Leroy-san had many disappointments to himself. But as Captain Allen said, Leroy-san should let it go. And somehow, I felt I can relate to the pain Leroy-san has. You're still here as proof that you are worthed. Do you need me to say it all over again? I won't be here without your helps. Captain Allen's words might have some effect on Leroy-san. Because Leroy-san didn't respond anything to him. Or perhaps, Leroy-san had been too drunk to talk. But it doesn't seem to be the case though. Because in the next moments, Leroy-san takes every paper on Captain Allen's desk. At least, this is all I can do to help. Then he moved the papers to another desk. Leroy-san take a seat, then started to work on it with great speed. I heard Captain Allen start to laugh. Ha ha ha. There you go. Oi. Don't take all of it, let me do my job as well. No, can't do. Captain should have a good rest. Oi, you making me sounds like a child, you know? Then as an exchange, trained the new recruits for tomorrow. They have been bombarding me with the question about where you have been. Ha ha ha. Oh, so that's why, you sly fox. Then, you sure you can do this by yourself? As certain as the sun will rise tomorrow. Attaboy. Thanks a lot for your help. I'll go to bed then. Don't you regret your choice? I won't. Have a good night, Captain. Captain Allen patted Leroy-san's shoulder. He once again expressed his gratitude to Leroy-san, but Leroy-san already put all of his focus on paperwork. Noticing this, Captain Allen walked out of his office. He didn't want to disturb Leroy-san. I was standing still outside the office when Captain Allen closed the door. I thought a moment after Captain Allen came out of the office, he would immediately go to his room. But turns out, he's standing there, looking at the skies. Tonight, there's a full moon with many stars sparkling beautifully. I see. Captain Allen is pretty much a romanticist. He might be looking at it to see the beauty of the night sky. But then, Captain Allen says something to himself. May the mighty god Veldanava is in our favor. I didn't hear it wrong, am I? Veldanava? Our world creator, the Star King Dragon Veldanava? What the? How can this world know Veldanava? Veldanava has created many worlds. I cannot be certain about how many it is, but apparently, this world is one of the creations from Veldanava. So that's why. I'm baffled. But how are the people in this world know Veldanava? I didn't find any possible relation. Unlike the cardinal world I lived in, we have a lot of his creations who exist around us. As far as I know, many of the progenitors of the creatures that lived in my world were also live in the cardinal world. So it's common knowledge about Veldanava's existence in my world. But how about this world? There are no demons and angels. All the inhabitants are humans. It's still a premature conclusion, but it's possible there's some unknown creation of Veldanava who has ruled this world at some time. But I'll need more data about it, so I cannot give any certain conclusion. I'm sorry. No, it's actually a good hint. We never know how many creatures Veldanava has made. In other words, there is more unknown history about Veldanava's creation. There are still unknown truths about Veldanava. Even I didn't have any information about it. Don't worry, Seal. Even the oldest creature I know, the primordials, didn't mention anything beyond their creation. But, the fact that Captain Allen worshipping Veldanava, it's somehow very intriguing. I wonder if the rest of the people in this world also worshipped Veldanava. Understood, I'll gather any information related to that. Again, very deft of you, Seal. Oh, by the way, I just got remembered. The guy earlier in the tavern, who wore a black robe, looks like a clergy. Maybe he's someone in a religious organization, like a church. But I don't see any church around here. I'll investigate it further. I leave it to you, partner. And before I know it, Captain Allen already walking away from here. And this time, I didn't have any curiosity to follow him. I should return to Hinata now. And so, I walked outside while maintaining my form-hide art, and found Hinata still waiting for me near the back of the barracks. Sorry, I took so much time. I sincerely apologize while steadily reducing my art. Don't worry, it's worth as well. What do you mean? Thanks to your magicules, I can hear those interesting words. You mean, about Veldanava? Hinata nodded. Then she continued. I can't be sure as well, but I recalled Lumina's-sama ever told me about her origin. There seems a creature called Divine Ancestor who create the first human, elves, dwarfs, and vampires. I don't know much detail about it, but it seems it has a connection to this world. I see, I never heard of such a thing before. I was only ever heard that much. But because I didn't really think it would be useful, I never cared too much about it. But it seems it's a mistake. Well, you're not wrong. But if I were you, I would also think the same. I thought Veldanava creates the creatures directly, including humans. There's a possibility of Veldanava only creates the original beings like the 7 original angels. Then those original beings create a descendant who transforms into a different creature, creating a multi-diverse creature around the universe. There's also a possibility of a particular being who was born by coincidence like primordial demons. I see. This whole universe is still a mystery as well. We have a long way to figure out the whole truth in this universe. Heck, even we didn't know who's this divine ancestor is. But it's pretty much refreshing, isn't it, Rimuru? Huh? What do you mean by that? You're worried about meddling too much in this world. But if this world is also a creation of Veldanava, would you find there's a connection with our world right now? Woa. I never thought of it that way. But I guess she's right. It became apparent that this world is somehow related to the cardinal world. Being created by the same existence, it sure made a spark of a bond. But still. You're right. If this world really is created by Veldanava, there's a sense of attachment between the two worlds. But it's still not a justification for meddling too much in this world. Also, a quarrel between humans is natural, isn't it? I agree with you. But now, even without Sensei's soul inhabiting this world, it would leave a bad taste in my mouth if I let this world collapse. Oi oi. The current war is only a civil war in one kingdom. And there are a dozen or even hundreds more kingdoms in this world. It won't change much. You know it better than me. That's why I agree with you. I only think if this world was somehow related to Lumina's-sama's origin, I have a sense of duty to protect it. Well, I won't go as far as saying I don't care about this world. I just wouldn't be able to stop myself once I involved more and more in this world system. That's right. You have changed, Rimuru. Become a king has made you realize there are priorities to be taken. All right. I nodded slowly. I mean, she's right. Once I have people who entrust their life to me, I become more focused on my people's safety. I still care about the development of civilization, but I won't do it if it's not beneficial to my country. I wonder if I became a selfish person. That's incorrect. Master is a responsible person. Master is always selfless. I unintentionally smiled after hearing Seal's words. Don't worry, Master. Even if Master becomes a selfish person, I would stay by your side forever. No. That's not the point. By the way, Rimuru, I think it's time. Yeah? All right. She's right, it's already past midnight. The street was also looking very empty. It's very quiet that I can teleport it right away. Alright, let's go now. Master, the distance of the soul eye tracking is coming closer. I can't be sure what's going on, but it's probably best to be on alert. Eh? What do you mean by that? Is the person who possesses half of Shizu-san's soul coming here? That's right. Well, I guess that person is still far away, right? Currently, it's 95 kilometers away. But it's still coming closer. Oh, that's still pretty far. So nothing's changed. Let's go. Understood. But one thing to be reminded of, I can only teleport it straight to the soul is located. That means Master would appear in front of this unknown individual. Crap, I never thought about it. That means our secret will be uncovered. Oh dear, what should I do? Something wrong? I just remembered. I can only teleport straight into the soul is located. You know what I mean, right? Hinata nodded. Then she thinks for a while. After seconds, she speaks. Then we have no choice. Except you wanted to wait until it comes to us. You're right, we're not in a rush anyway. But is this person coming to our position? Well, I knew it was moving closer toward us. From the north, right? Yes. Wait, are you thinking what I'm thinking? It seems so. Are you thinking this person is one of the refugees? Most possibly, yes. Then it's certain it will come to us. You're right. Then we can take a break for a while. To be honest, I have a bad premonition about it. Why? Just a hunch. Well, it's pretty rare to have Hinata mentioning her instinct. She is usually more calculative and shrewd over everything. But it makes me somehow feel the same. Seal, can I scan the area with my universal sense for that wide area? I never tried it, but it's possible in theory. Then please try it. I wonder if it works in such a wide radius area. I'll try to use it temporarily, then I install Argos nearby the soul's coordinate. Oh. Good idea. But damn, I realize how important Sui's role was. No, I always realize the importance of Sui's division, but right now I just realize how inconvenient to always do everything by myself. Or perhaps, I was used to handing over jobs to my subordinates. But then, comes a report from Seal. I've managed to place an Argos to confirm the individual whom Master's searching for. It seems to be a male with high status. Judging from how many people surrounding him, it's possible that's Prince Constance we have been talking about. Wait, can you show the footage to me, Seal? Understood. Then footage came into my mind. I saw a long convoy of carriages on the road. But it looks like it's in dismay. People are running, abandoning their luggage. The horses are in panic, and chaos is everywhere. Oh gosh, now our bad premonition seems to be true. I kept looking around and found that the convoy is very long. It might be around 7 kilometers. The number of people in the convoy is also staggering. Without Seal's analysis, I thought it was around 20,000 people in carriages. It's a reckless convoy. I don't even see the guards are organized properly. They mostly stand in the middle, while the rear is only guarded by a few dozen armed people. Mostly only man-at-arms. So that's what Captain Allen means by rushed evacuation. I don't know what the cause of this massive evacuation was, but I knew it doesn't go well. To make matters worse, I can see the rear of the convoy was being attacked. I saw many heavily equipped soldiers attacking from behind the convoy by horse. Some of them are killing people, but most of them look like they searched for someone. They destroy every carriage's wheel and search everything inside of it. But then, comes hundreds of people on foot. A black mantle covered their bodies and began to attack the people. Those people are being slashed by swords, crushed by hammers, and stabbed by knives. And those who survived were captured, either getting beaten or tortured. It was horrible. Then from the middle of the convoy, I saw a young man with a handsome face being guarded by multiple knights. But he looks like he wanted to run to the back of the convoy by himself. And of course, none of his bodyguards are letting him go. And to add more concern, somehow I am convinced that person is Prince Constance. Moreover, I saw particles of a bright soul inside him. That's it. I found Shizu-san's soul. Although it's only half of it. Seal, please share this footage with Hinata. Understood. Hinata. What is-o? Then I shared the sight of the footage with her. She looks horrified at the sight she saw. Then, I activate my thought acceleration to Hinata. Hinata, you see the prince there? Yes. Turns out you're right. He has Shizu-san's soul. Then we have no choice. Let's save him. Are you prepared? That question is for you. She's right. As I watched the scene, I thought a lot about the consequences. If the rumors are right, then as soon as I sprung into action, I'll be picking a fight with more than just one kingdom. And with no magic around, the entire world might be in an uproar upon our existence. But I can't stand seeing this too. Hinata might have been thinking about it as well, but she still decides to go. The shrewd person I know has chosen to be reckless. Well, then I too have no choice. For now, let's deal with what we saw. Let's think about another thing for later. And so, I made my resolve. All right. I'm coming too. But I'm going to take life as minimal as possible. Good, I never killed many humans before, but I wouldn't hesitate to do it. That's a pretty scary thing to say. But I won't pry into it. Then, we're good. I'm ready. She unsheathed her sword. And I do the same. Remember, once we arrive, there's a battlefield. Hinata nodded. As she readied her stance, I began to activate the teleportation. Seal, for this one, let me try to handle the fight by myself. All right, but if you are getting harmed, I wouldn't stand still doing nothing. I didn't have time to respond to that statement, because a ray of light has appeared below our feet. And not even seconds later, we arrived. For a few seconds, I look around and saw the princes and baffled upon seeing me, and Hinata appeared out of nowhere. Some of his knights are also very surprised after our arrival, but the others started to point out their swords to us. I heard the screams from afar, and many people are running in my direction. They are in a very panicky situation since none of the fleeing people pay any attention to us. Well, that's not a problem. Let's get started. I plan to use my power as minimal as possible, but strong enough to pull the enemy back. So I would use my battle will for most. I enhanced my sight with my universal sense and found a mounted knight's enemy within 5 meters. I took a flash step and swing the back of my sword to that person. The hilt of my sword hit the guy's nose, and then he collapsed. His horse becomes a wild animal and runs forward at full speed. I turned my head and saw more of the mounted knights approaching. Again, I used a flash step and appeared in front of one of them. The knight looks confused at first seeing me appear suddenly, but then without hesitation, he marched forward and swings his sword horizontally towards me, only to be parried by my sword. He got confused since he didn't expect his attack would be deflected easily, but I didn't waste more time and jumped towards him using my instantaneous move and slash his torso. The knight fell and I saw his armor were split. I'm pretty surprised since I thought I didn't use much strength. But I guess that's just how weak these people are. The knight didn't stand up, but he was alive with a wound in his chest. I can't pay too much attention, since his comrades are now charging at me in synchronized lines. Without much thought, I coated my sword with an aura and slashed my sword horizontally into the air. The aura that coated my sword earlier became a projectile with a wide range and immediately went toward those knights. They all fell backward, and the momentum of their fall made them faint, with a serious injury around their chest. But the projectile made from my aura is still flying and hit many more mounted knights behind. Their armor saves them from being cut in half, but there's still a huge slashed wound in their body. The other mounted knights sensed the abnormality happening to me, and they started to get hesitant to charge at me. But that's only happened for seconds. They began to reform their line, with the knight wielding a shield and spear in the center. They lined themselves into 10 rows and immediately charged at me to encircle me. But that's too bad because before they could reach me, I moved with instantaneous movement and appeared on their left. The knight who happened to be on the left of the row was utterly shocked by my sudden appearance. But before he could react, I thrust into his torso and made him fall. But luckily, I didn't hit his vital part. Their row became in dismay. But the two knights who wield spears and shields still trying to charge at me. But with the short distance, their thrust won't be powerful enough. Alas, even if they managed to have enough momentum, I wouldn't let it happen. But perhaps this could be a good example. I intentionally stand still and waited for them to come at me. Once they're closed enough, I use a bit of thought acceleration and manage to dodge their spear's thrust and swing vertically toward their spear. I move far enough to distance myself from being hit by their horse, and with my aura that coated my sword, it succeeded to become a projectile that break their spears. Both of them must be surprised after what they saw. From their perspective, I guess they didn't see how I was able to dodge, and suddenly saw their spear got broken. The other knight who saw what was going on become afraid. What is that guy? Impossible. He's out of mind. Let's get back. No. Let's hold on. Wait for the others and surround him from all sides. Then another knight came charging at me. I was preparing the next move, but suddenly, that knight was sent flying pretty far before hitting a tree with his back. Hinata did a flying kick toward that knight, and now she's standing beside me. I'll handle the mounted knights, you rescue the people in front. Got it. I didn't have any reason to reject her command. So I ran with tremendous speed and bypassed every mounted knight in front of me. What's that? No idea. Let's go. Our front line got in trouble. Looks like Hinata managed to draw their attention. Yosh, now my opponents are the people in a black mantle. They seem to have a nasty attitude. Kaya. I heard a woman screaming. I had my sight on her spontaneously. Both of her legs were being dragged by two men in a black mantle, while two children were holding both of her arms each. Mother. Both of the kids are screaming for their mother. Nonetheless, the two men kept dragging her around. They show a disgusting face. Ahaha. Hey, stop resisting. We'll let your kids live if you do what we want. Right. You're lucky to have a beautiful face. The other women didn't satisfy us enough. Kuhahaha. All right, this is unbearable. That woman is desperately screaming. And worse, I saw many other guys in the black mantle coming towards them. I won't spare them. I instantly use instantaneous movement and slash both of them in milliseconds. And I didn't stop there. I continue moving towards the guys who come closer, and before they could realize what happened, a slash wound had appeared on their bodies. Arg. They screamed very loud. But worst, the two guys who dragged the women's feet already got themselves cut in half from their heads. There's no way they are still alive. Huh? What's that? Where he came from? Oi, you. Stop right there. Hey. Somebody shoot him. They screaming each other. But those loud voices are not my main attention. What I saw is a horrible scene of people being killed ruthlessly. I saw a man with multiple stabbed wounds dying helplessly in the middle of the road, lying down inside his own blood puddle. I saw a woman being slashed in her arm, her clothes are tattered and she was still holding on to her children, hugging it tightly, protecting them till the end. I saw multiple children lying down in the street, with a sword being stabbed in their backs. None of them are alive. I saw people, humans, dying everywhere, covered with blood, without any resistance. They cried in pain, alongside a laugh from the men in black mantles. I suddenly imagined the time when my people in Tempest were attacked by Falmouth's vanguard. Is this how they were attacked? Is this the cruelty they faced? Is this the fear they felt? Then, I won't spare anyone. I won't let any attackers live. I'll kill them all. I'll kill you all. I murmured those words, and moved rapidly, swinging my swords toward anyone I identified as an attacker. What does he say? Ah. I can't hear it arg. What's going arg? Where's he go arg? They all go down one by one. And none of them are alive. Hoy. Shoot it. Once I heard that loud order, I immediately sensed dozens of arrows coming toward me. But none of it matters. I swing my sword horizontally into the air, and the aura I made becomes a projectile that destroys all of the arrows. I turn my gaze to the men who shot me. What's that? He's a beast. Run. Run. Get back. Save your life. I won't let you run away. I jumped into the air and hit the ground with my sword. The ground became shaking, and a ray of lightning appeared and running everywhere, burning those men with black mantle into ash. Some of them still survive. I'm gonna finish it. But then... Master. Please stop. You're going to hurt yourself. I suddenly stopped moving. I saw those attackers trembling in fear. They didn't move an inch. Once I stopped my movement, they instantly fall down and dropped their weapons. And then... Rimuru. What are you doing? Hinata came by running behind me. And then she stopped after seeing the corpses, or rather, my victims. Rimuru. At that very moment, I feel a great pain in my chest. I looked at my chest, but I found no injuries. So that's it. It's a pain inside my heart. Seal, can you do something about it? I see. It's my own problem. It's not even something Seal can do. Now, what face should I make? What attitude I should give to the people around me? I can't show this emotion. I don't know what my faces look like right now, but I'm sure it's unpleasant to look at. But I can't keep standing still like this. I need to look okay. I have to, or otherwise, I'm going to look like a scary monster. I'm not a bad slime. I'm not a bad Rimuru. Before I know it, a pair of hands were hugging me from behind. And I didn't feel any strength to oppose it.
That's it for today. Remember to show your support to the creator of this story if you enjoyed it. If you would like more parts of the story to be uploaded, leave a comment and subscribe to get notified when the story continues. Bye-bye for now, and I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day.